Okay, we started off the session with the party arriving in. Well, this is the last session. I'm just going to give context to it. Previously, the party had arrived in Ravana, the capital city of Western Utah, the main city where all of the generals seem to live, or at least where they are stationed. 6 that are currently living out of the 7 Lion Pride. The party met up with one of the generals named Felix Evermore, a very renowned paladin within Western Utah. You're not sure how he gained this renown, other than he carries himself in a very confident and powerful way, though also showing a sense of kindness and justice with every step that he takes. He eventually leads you to a room where he had just announced to the group his knowledge of what happened, knowing that they were able to find remnants of one body from the previous party, a dragonborn, but have not been able to find the full carcass. It was inferred that this was Lotus, Dahlia's brother, who was in the last adventuring party with Yezreel. Some further information was released from Yezreel about the true events of what happened, but only just. Releasing just enough information to allow Felix Evermore to continue. You all decided to go on an adventure to where the last party had been slain to try to see if you could scout something out, as you were 2 weeks ahead of the rest of the fleet. Eventually, over the last couple of days, you were able to find the old campsite, one desecrated corpse of one since lost long friend, known only to Yezreel, known such as Big Break. Oh, perfect timing, Clarissa.
Is it? God, I hope so.
I was in the middle of the recap, and I hadn't even gotten to the part of the recap where we covered what happened in last session, so perfect timing.
Awesome.
The group came upon the old, burnt down and kind of strewn across campsite, the desecrated body of Big Break, only known by Yezreel, and finding a note that had been left under a rock in the campfire from Silent Shadow, proclaiming this internal dread that he feels, the anger that he feels, and how sorrowful and mournful he is, but so angry at the same time, proclaiming that he can't trust humanity anymore. This was enough of an example for him to live forever in his silent shadow. The party ended up reassembling, Yezreel not giving any more details as to what they actually found, heading towards this papier-mâché-like tree that had been destroyed, seemingly as a chute to get up and down inside of the Underdark, at least in a secret entrance that has since now been destroyed. The party heads down through this chute and travels through various amounts of downhill travel.
Dad,
Yes.
it's almost bedtime.
In about an hour and a half.
Daddy?
One moment.
I'm glad my mic was muted just now, because I said what I thought would have been a funny joke, but maybe it wouldn't have landed well.
He's stupid.
The party continues down a moist and damp earthen ramp that just led deeper and deeper into this crust of the earth, or of the planet that you're on. Eventually coming across a series of puzzles that were needing to be solved before you found a stairwell that went thousands and thousands of feet underground, eventually leading to a cavern of which you found this cavern opens up, and it's like a 300 by 300 by 300 room, massive underground cavern with giant shrooms growing up on the ceiling that are bioluminescent in nature, lighting up the corridor in this damp bluish hue light. With this purplish green grass growing on this mound that you stand on, you see a decaying corpse of something quite large. Seems to be some kind of ray of a kind. And through inspecting this corpse, Yezreel is acutely familiar of its history and of its origin and potentially of its death. When suddenly, Yezreel feels a dribble of something wet on his neck. As he looks up, prowling from the air, holding on to the stalk of this mushroom, stands Silent Shadow as he descends from the ceiling, riding his manta ray that allows him to fly invisibly. Circling the party, and an encounter ensues where the party handles themselves pretty well until Silent Shadow begins to morph, getting stronger and stronger. His manta ray no longer able to assist him in the fight due to the antics of the party. And it continues to grow larger and larger until it's almost as big as the cavern itself, nearly hitting every single person in the party with every blow, until you're able to finally take it down by Dahlia, fueling her rage of the mystery of not ever seeing Lotus again, knowing that this could have been the person that caused it to happen. So many unknowns, and you unleashed that fury in a 2-time breath weapon attack, slaying Silent Shadow, burning his body to a crisp. The party quickly tried to revive Silent Shadow. And tried to salvage as much skin or as much life as possible. It wasn't until the efforts of Tar plopping down her instant fortress where you were able to find solitude and rest within this mysterious surrounding. Through the use of many healing spells, many medicine checks, and the use of greater restoration to cure Silent Shadow of his vampiricism, the party was able to find out Silent Shadow's side of the story of what happened. Finding out that the party was actually quite peaceful. Finding out that the party is actually quite peaceful. But the main thing that threw the party for a loop was that the previous group that had found this Drow city found that the Drow were very peaceful people. And they heard many sides to the story that it was the humans that caused this war to begin with. That they had performed no such atrocities on their people. And the reason why Lord Thaddeus, this vampire lord, had gone after the party originally was because they stole a lot of his treasure and left without saying anything. They were able to rescue the young of this decaying manta ray, and they, since then, were known as the Manta Riders. They went up to the surface when they were approached by Lord Thaddeus, maybe aggressively, but he had no intentions of attacking. The thing that caused all the party members to die was one of the casters had turned on the party, and even after Lord Thaddeus had left, the in-party fighting did not stop. After this caster and one of the other party members had deceased, Yezreel took the opportunity to run. And the rest is history. The party was left with the conscious thought that maybe that the mission that they're on is wrong. It's misguided. And maybe it's because of Yezreel, but it may be also because of the lack of information entirely. The constant fight of whether what you're doing is good or whether what you're doing should be done because it was an order was a constant struggle. And we ended the last session with the party at ends with each other. Some trying to rekindle whatever was left of the moment by taking some time to smoke. Others taking time to reflect on their actions and whether if they're here, if it's even right. if they should even consider allowing this to continue. It's almost treasonous. But we're going to continue tonight's session in the top floor of the tower, where we have the group starting to light up a bowl.
I forget, how did we end off last session?
Exactly as that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Lieutenant, Colonel Cain Maxwell, told
Israel, I can
Israel-
understand the confusion. I've recently got a title change.
Well, yeah, like one of the last things was Colonel Cain Maxwell told Yezreel that he was less than scum.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Oh, and also there's you guys will notice in like almost every room there's a hookah that you can just put the weed in.
I will probably refrain because of I'm going to remain on duty and keep my mask on.
I think we referred to it as goblin grass in the last session, right?
Goblin
Yeah,
bush.
Yeah,
that's
goblin
right.
Goblin bush.
Goblin bush.
Yep, bringing it back up.
Dahlia is gonna slap the colonel on the back. She's like, "What? You don't want to partake? Are you a square?"
No. No. Mm-mm. I just point to like my mask. I'm on duty.
Can I make a charisma check to see if I can convince him into partaking?
I would rather you convince him with words.
So, but Colonel, like, how can you be in tip-top shape if you don't relax every now and then?
And I start like stroking my baby smooth chin, that like definitely butt chin. I'm like stroking it there. Well,
Plus, I bet I could smoke more than you, and are you really gonna let a woman smoke more than you?
I look around in the room. Is Gladdek anywhere here?
Yeah, Gladdek would have his own like pipe that he's smoking it out of, kind of like Gandalf vibe.
Okay, yeah. So like my eyes kind of do a zoom in cut of that, and I go, yes, I shall. I'll smoke your goblin bush, whatever. Have I ever heard of this before?
It's not uncommon. It's not illegalized anywhere as of yet.
Would you say it's uncommon up in the mountains?
Yeah. I would say there's specific strains that are more akin to like what you'd find in like CBD. Like nothing that's like going to affect your cognitive function, but something that helps you relax. But this is kind of similar.
Well, Colonel Cain Maxwell is definitely aware that building team morale is going to lead to success. Excuse me, I think I have to take a shit. And I just run out of the room to the first door I can find and I slam it shut, take my mask off, and then come back out. Kind of like, dazed. Like, who was that who just ran past me type of thing.
Man,
Go ahead.
no, I was just going to answer. I will be right back. Just trying to change e-cig batteries. Continue, please.
So I'll just go over to you, Dahlia. Definitely a pretty big smoker. Definitely done it a lot. I look over at Gladdek one more time, trying to like read as much as I can, but I think I got this.
As you see Dahlia, just like, she's got a tube for one of the hookahs, and she just breathes in this massive puff and just like blows it directly at your face, and she says, "Good, because it's your turn." As I look over to Tar and just kind of give her a wink.
I'll kind of slap him on the back when he's handed the pipe as she sits next to Dahlia with one leg crossed and one knee up with her arm on her knee and just looking over at you silently.
Right. And like though a pipe is pretty intuitive, like even the act of me like grabbing it, just like kind of, the first hit I take, DM, I want to just like start having a coughing fit that instantly starts making me sweat, and I just like and just like dying in the corner of the room.
Okay, roll me a D100. If you roll lower than a 20, you're gonna start dry heaving because of how bad you're coughing.
Sure. Let's see.
Oh,
19.
Man, this is so foreign, in that your body is telling you that you should not be doing this. And immediately, you don't throw up, but man, it takes you a second to regain your composure. Your throat's gonna hurt a little bit in about an hour.
Yeah, maybe a couple pieces of my like rations came up a little bit, and I kind of swallowed it back down.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's my experience, and to be honest, I don't even think I get high. I just coughed a lot.
It's hard because you don't even know what sensation you're supposed to be feeling with this. So
Sure.
Or just tilts her head at watching this display.
Dahlia takes it back from you, and she's like, "Oh, well, that was fun," and continues to hit it.
Tar, you stand upon the balcony reflecting upon your thoughts. As you had stepped out from the conversation prior because of the ridiculousness you were hearing, that it was nearly treasonous that your team was trying to go against the mission you were sent here to accomplish. What's Tar doing, and where is her headspace at?
Tar would have kind of came in very quietly and just she would have sit next to Dahlia, but she's not really signing much. And right now she already has one situation with her clan that she still has to address with them, that she has no idea how they're going to react. And like sometimes as she's looking at the colonel and Dahlia interaction, she'll just kind of almost like staring from her black glass visor of her helmet, and she's gonna be looking at Dahlia, and just from what Dahlia said to her and saved her life, she's struggling with a lot of things right now.
Okay. What about Gladdek? What are you doing, man?
He said he was sitting down smoking, but yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, let's kind of hear where you're at mentally, and if you have anything you'd like to say.
I think at this point Gladdek would be sitting there contemplating, like deep in thought. You know, those scenes in Lord of the Rings where like Gandalf was like conflicted, where he's like, you can tell he's smoking kind of aggressively because he's like the wheels are turning. I don't think he would have anything to say with all the group around. He wants to contemplate and maybe have some like side conversations before he brings anything up as a group.
And then let's go over to Aslan. Like, what you just went through, your first encounter was more deadly than 99% of the population would have ever seen. How are you doing?
Oh yeah, so his druidic village is not unfamiliar. They do a lot of drugs, is basically what I'm trying to get at. So Goblin Bush is definitely something they use to ease the mind of people that are anxious and weary from their travels. So he's over there, trunk full, just he's like, and then as soon as he's done, he goes, he's like hyperventilating on the smoke. He's just
You're blowing by Aslan and enjoy the hot box.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like Aslan is even like shooting out dual O's from both nostrils from his trunk. It's a cool sight.
He's definitely has some tricks from his village. He's popping some rings and he's throwing a little magic in there, and you see like a little like smaller elephant jump through the ring.
Kind of like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yes. He has his own pipe. I will say, like Gladdek, it might not be as finely crafted, but it's actually made out of a mammoth tusk, and it has carved on the side of it druidic like runes on it, and that's what he's smoking from.
Cool.
And then let's go over to Dahlia. It was a huge relief to let all that anger and aggression out in that last final all-out attack. You're still feeling quite fatigued with your 2 points of exhaustion, but how are you doing? Of course you're tired, but like having the time to talk about what happened and now having the downtime to really relax, how are you doing? Clarissa?
Oh, you were talking to me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to order dinner too. My blood sugar's super low, so I'm not like right here.
No, that's okay. I'm just asking where Dahlia's at mentally with having that final blow on Silent Shadow, releasing all that internal anger in one huge attack, leaving you so exhausted with your 2 exhaustion points. But having the time now to talk about everything and having the downtime to really relax, how are you doing? And do you have anything you'd like to say?
Now at this point, Dahlia is doing her best. She's regained her composure, and she's doing her best not to show that anything is bothering her. As far as like what she's shown on the outside, she seems like normal Dahlia. On the inside, she has a lot of questions. There are a lot of answers, and there are a lot of questions and not enough answers. There's a lot of gaps that seem to be missing in her mind. She doesn't quite know where she wants to take things next. She does keep looking over. Wait, is Azrael still with us?
Israel.
Yes. Yeah.
So she keeps shooting glances over at Yezreel.
As do I, but they're more judgmental glances.
Okay.
While she notices the Colonel giving glances too, she kind of looks over at the Colonel and gives him like eyebrows.
Did you say something to me? Sorry, someone tried to just call me.
Every time that you look over at Yezreel, Dahlia looks over at you and like wiggles her eyebrows at you.
Which breaks my concentration, and I stop looking at the 2 of them until I go back to Yezreel at some point.
Cain Maxwell, it's getting a little harder to concentrate. It's hard. Something's off.
I'm also going to say, after taking that first hit, that's it. After that coughing fit, no, not again.
As Dahlia reaches up and just grabs Aslan's trunk and just takes a rip off of him.
Oh my god!
Aslan's surprised. Aslan's totally surprised. Just...
You kind of just made out with him if you think about it.
Yeah. He says, "I beg your pardon."
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were the hookah. You seem to be blowing out a lot of smoke.
Well, I am quite taken back from this adventure so far. A vampire is not the first fight I thought I'd ever get into in my life. I've been quite a pacifist till now.
Well, if I may say, it does seem like you handled yourself pretty well. In fact, you came in really handy. I was glad that we had you here.
I tried my best, and though I look calm and collected on the outside during that fight, I was shitting bricks on the inside.
Oh, well, speaking of shitting bricks, I'm hungry. I've got the munchies. You think you could whip us up something?
Oh, of course, that might be the perfect idea to take my mind off of this.
If you would like to, I will allow you to make some goblin bush
Oh my
treats.
god. Oh my
Yes,
god.
he's gonna make some edible infused treats. He's
And-
actually gonna add the spelling effect of healing to the meal, so everybody
Okay.
gets healed.
Oh, that's
There-
cool.
Alright.
There is a room for cooking at the very bottom of the tower.
Oh, hell yeah.
He also
he
has a
goes there.
mobile cooking station, but you can use whatever you prefer.
He'll go to the kitchen. Why not?
Okay. All right. In as much detail as you can, please describe to me what you make, how you make it, and give me a roll.
Actually, first he'll ask the group, "What are y'all hungry for?"
Steak and potatoes.
Okay.
Tar will
Yeah. Okay.
Tar will sign. I'm currently fasting, but thank you.
Okay. He's like, one who does not like food? Odd.
Dahlia just kind of chimes in. She's like, I, at this point, will eat anything. I like just about food. I like food. Meat, but food. I'm hungry.
And what about you, one of shorter stature?
Laddie, I could go for a steak and a pint if you got it.
Ah,
I
two
go
steak
for a
and
high
potatoes. In Yezreel.
Israel's kind of just like in the corner, just kind of looking down. And he's like, I'm not hungry right now.
Ah, another steak and potatoes. Right away.
Hold on, I
Five-star
have
chef,
some-
and they use me for steak and potatoes, he says as he leaves.
Use my goat milk.
Got it.
Okay, you waddle your way down all these fucking stairs.
Oh,
You
yeah.
make your way, and you see a slowly recovering silent shadow cuddling up against something that's invisible. He seems to be elevated off of the ground a little bit, but most of his fur has been burned away, but you were able to salvage most of his skin. There's very large scarring in places, but he is sound asleep.
You know what? I'll make him a plate too. And one for the manta ray.
Okay.
He's going to make just a bunch of steaks and potatoes, like some cooked potatoes. He's going to add a little bit of cheese and garlic to the baked potatoes, and of course some butter. And then for the steak, of course, barbecue sauce. I mean, come on now. He's going to cook it probably medium rare, medium. About that.
Okay. Tar, go ahead and give me a description of what your kitchen looks like.
The kitchen is very much made out of sandstone and very round. The stove is actually like almost kind of like a pizza oven, but much bigger, and the fire's on the underneath, so you just slide your food in there. And there is a standard piece of wood that's built into the counter of one of the sandstones that's meant for cutting. You can kind of see the cutting marks.
Cool.
Yeah. And then there's just this various of, I'm trying to think of like how medieval kitchens kind of were.
Dude, you should have like one of those big old like stovetop things they have in the East, where they're like, it's just like one big round
Yes.
like stone slab that's heated. You know?
Yes. In the very middle of it is a large slab of stone, and at the very base there's like there's a section on each side that makes about 4 that you can shove firewood into.
Nice.
And in the corner there is actually like a whole bunch of firewood stacked up in the corner.
Nice. Okay, he'll basically get on with the cooking. He's gonna start by snap his fingers, and a mage hand's gonna appear, and he's like, "Find me the necessary ingredients." As he starts to get the meat heated.
It's
Merlin.
like Merlin.
Yeah, Merlin style.
Dude, yeah!
It hops up on 2 fingers and does a salute with its pinky finger and
Nice,
walks
yes.
over. And it's grabbing
He'll
all
do a
sorts of
salute
different-
back.
It's grabbing some pinching salt for you, some freshly cracked pepper. It's grabbing a couple of other different powders that you're unfamiliar with this type of kitchen. You can assume that it's maybe like some sort of like smoky types of flavors as you try and smell them. It would be solid enough for you to form a decent barbecue sauce for sure. Are you going to infuse any goblin bush into this dish?
As he's getting, actually, real quick, as the mage hand is getting him the ingredients, he's going to say, "Oh, Ramsey, my sous chef, you are always the greatest help."
Ramsey, I love
Yeah, Ramsey. What was the question?
Are you going to infuse goblin bush into your dish?
Oh, yes, of course. That's
So
also part of the healing effect.
Okay, I assume that this is like you make a reduction with the butter and the goblin bush, and as soon as it gets all melted and married together, you form your barbecue sauce from this, and it's how you baste your steak.
Exactly.
Go ahead and give me a cooking check, and we'll see how this goes.
21.
Solid. There's one that seems to be a little bit overcooked, still technically medium rare, but you don't like that the color is uneven throughout the middle. But all in all, you'd make your mentor proud with this dish. The barbecue sauce is very tangy, which is strange because the ingredients that you used didn't involve any citrus, but maybe some of the powders that you were throwing in there had some citric properties in it. Needless to say, it leaves you quite parched when you take a bite, which is great because this type of meal would go wondrous with a fine, fresh ale.
Ah, perfect. Now, I wonder if there's a dining table we should set. Is there one?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
you go ahead, please. This is your tower.
So I mean, there is in the room connected to it. You'll see a room with like some curtains hanging down, and what it is it's a sandstone table, but it's only like knee high, and it's surrounded by big plushy pillows that you can that you sit on, basically.
So as soon as he's done cooking, he will clap his hands. "Now, we must set the table, Ramsey. I will help." And afterwards, he'll get the party to come eat.
I want to say something in the interim while I'm waiting for dinner. I might not finish it tonight, but I'm going to start tonight. I'm proficient with woodcarver's tools, and I'm going to get from my pack like 7 or so pieces of wood that I'll make similar sizes, about that big, in preparation for carving.
Okay. Let me get to Yezreel first, and we'll determine what happens with that. Yezreel.
That's it. I don't want anything else to happen. That's what I do while dinner's cooking.
Okay. Yezreel. You see Aslan head down after asking you for food, implying that he'd be making you some anyway. Now that the most neutral of the party has left the room, there's an uncomfortable feeling. You see the glances headed your way. And not only with your background, having this happen is very uncomfortable, but also revealing as much truth as you did is very uncommon for you. Not to say that you lie often, but you keep cards close to your chest. With everything that's happened, how is Yezreel doing, and is there anything you would like to say?
So, Yezreel is just kind of sitting away from everybody, just kind of letting them think about what happened. And he's just kind of looking down, contemplating, and kind of has his hand just kind of caressing his face as he thinks, and doesn't really say anything. He's just kind of brooding and thinking about, is the choices that he made, were they the right choices, or has he actually broken the trust of the party completely?
But not only that, tackling feelings that, with the situation you were given, yes, you did capitalize on it from surviving. But what else were you supposed to do? You constantly battle, like, you were with this party for not 6 hours before they all killed themselves, and you relayed what information you had. So it's tough to admit your wrongdoing when it does not feel like you did anything wrong in the first place. All these thoughts plague your mind when eventually you all start smelling something that you've never really smelt before. Something sweet but savory at the same time, but so salty, invites your nostrils forward.
I flutter through the wind like someone smelling a pie on the windowsill.
Yeah.
Is it his butt cheeks that flap and keep him in the air?
It's his front and back butt cheeks. That...
I was gonna say it's my pectoral muscles kind of vibrating in place. Dude, once the whole kind of room kind of figures out that there's a smell that is good, I instantly am like, protein, and I just like
I assume everybody heads down as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dahlia will.
Yeah,
She's
Tar will-
hungry. She's got the munchies. She's going.
Yeah, after seeing everyone else get up for a reason she can't tell, she'll get up and kind of go with them and sit next to Dahlia.
Gladdek?
Yeah, Gladdek would head down as well.
Okay, great. The rest of the party heads down. Cain Maxwell, as you begin your last lunge to go over and you take a very cross-eyed glance to see a sleeping silent shadow as you're about to land on your last foot.
Can I step on his tail?
You start sprinting over to the dining table, regardless of what's in your path. And your final stride lands directly on his tail. And he's... Yeah, if he had any fur, he goes up on all fours, at least 4 feet up in the air, and gives you this incredibly scary hiss. It's almost like from a hairless cat, because of like the bare scarred skin that you have just stepped on is now screeching at you. And
I'll just like kind of run in place for a second, like trying to recover. I'm sorry, please. Now I'm running. I continue to run, but now it's out of fear rather than hunger.
Dahlia shoots you a dejected look, like, really, dude? Come on.
I have a wide gate.
Silent Shadow immediately regains his composure as he smells the smell of which his nostrils are wanting to smell, and then turns his head over to the table and just starts drooling. The rest of the party convenes at this sandstone table where these large plushed pillows have been placed accordingly to allow everybody to sit. Even though you didn't make one specifically for... you said you'd made one for Silent Shadow, for sure.
Yeah, everybody has a plate at the table, even Tar, hers has no food on it. Everybody has a plate.
Nice.
Everybody starts digging in. And... all for everyone except for Tar. This is the most delicious thing. So sticky, so ooey and gooey, but yet so tender. And then to cleanse your palate, you take a big bite of the mashed potatoes, and it feels like love in an embodiment of mash. And Tar, yes, this is very good, but it seems like everybody else is experiencing something far better than you.
She just kind of just staring at Dahlia, just eating and just watching her.
While you're staring at Dahlia, as Dahlia she's kind of leaned over the table, has one shoulder up, she takes a scoop of mashed potatoes as she's staring directly at Colonel Cain Maxwell. You see her her dragon tongue just kind of come out and wrap around the mashed potatoes and pull it into her mouth as she just looks at you very seductively.
It's hard to make me out because of the food that's flying up in the air. I'm just Goku style,
I will say that everybody, including Tar, There is a earthen aftertaste that is not exactly unwelcome in the dish, but is something that you would not necessarily expect when eating a steak and potato, but it's definitely herbaceous in the back of your throat.
Well, Aslan, this is terrific, but it does taste a little bit like rocks, but we're miles beneath the surface, so hey, I'll take a rocky steak.
I'm sorry, it is not up to your taste buds. I will do better.
Oh no, my taste buds are jumping off my tongue, buddy.
Oh, well, you're welcome. He just gives you a weird look. He's like, okay. He's like, what's this guy?
You guys see that Silent Shadow is kind of doing the thing that cats do, like kind of just circling legs and trying to rub up against the table, just wanting to be a part of the experience, but isn't sure if he's invited, type of thing.
Gladdek will look at him. Laddie, and he'll pat the seat next to him. Come take a seat.
Sit.
Go ahead, Dahlia.
No, never mind.
Silent Shadow does go ahead and sit, feeling a little uncomfortable, but as soon as he takes a bite, a sense of familiarity comes to him. Aslan? Is there goblin bush in this?
Of course, it is to calm the nerves.
How did you do it?
Well, you simply take the goblin bush and you ground it down to a nice fine paste. Then you melt it in real good with the butter, or a sauce preferably. And then he starts rambling on about cooking if anybody follows it.
You see him like etching in notes into the table, but it's hard. His nails are still charred, and it's a stone table.
So, as far as Cain goes, he doesn't pay attention. He's kind of the guy that, like, he'll eat delicious food, but if it were up to him, he'd probably make toast with, like, jerky.
As Dahlia pipes up and she says, yeah, sure Lotus would have loved this, as she slowly looks up over
Oh, shit.
at Silent Shadow.
Oh,
Yes, you're right. But I will tell you something. I have something that Lotus would like, if you wouldn't mind me commemorating his death.
Oh. The murderer commanding the death. That's cute. Go ahead.
Well, you'll just have to see. I'm sure you'll have a similar experience. Cammy, please go fetch from my stash, please. Cammy kind of just very slowly, like slinkily, like just rises up off of the ground. It's disorienting because you didn't. I mean, you assumed that it was there out of context, but now that it's shown itself flying and flapping its wings, as the manta ray that it is, now in like this cosmic black color, exits the tower. Give him like 20 minutes. He has to go swim underwater to go find it.
Those manta rays are incredible creatures.
You should have seen its mother.
I did for a little bit.
Was that the ray that we found?
It was.
I was protecting it.
I
I
understand.
bet it was beautiful.
Some short silence appears as Cammy reappears into the tower with this bundle, like in like this some type of like tarp cloth of sorts, and drops it on the table unceremoniously and goes back to its resting place, reactivating its superior camouflage. Silent Shadow weakly opens the bag, and you see a bunch of wild mushrooms that have been gathered. Do be careful. Even myself, I can only handle one, so maybe just take a bite if you're feeling adventurous.
So Silent Shadow just handed Dahlia a mushroom.
There's about 7 or 8 mushrooms in total in this cloth.
She pulls it and she looks at it and she goes, "What?"
It's infused with I mean, this isn't the best name with your feelings towards me, but it's infused with death root. It's very calming. It puts you to sleep and into a deep sleep. Of course, you'll wake up the next morning feeling much better, but there are some hallucinogenic properties with this as well.
She looks at it and
Silent Shadow takes one and pops it in his mouth.
she turns to Colonel Cain Maxwell and extends a hand and says, "Would you like a bite?"
Real quick, it's actually Cain Maxwell. I'm not in costume right now.
Cain Maxwell.
Cain, he looks to you.
Aslan will go. It is rude to refuse the offering of others.
Okay, so I'm going to take the mushroom and DM in a very much like in a Kronk and Yzma sort of way. I'm going to like pretend to eat the mushroom and just go and just kind of swallow.
Silent Shadow seems to be completely convinced that you took a bite of the whole thing.
Thanks, Dahlia, my favorite. And then I just like kind of walk away.
She takes the mushroom back from her. She looks at it and would anybody else like one?
I will take one. And Aslan will eat a whole one.
Okay.
Yeah, and she just hands the biggest one over to you.
Sure.
Har just signs to Simon just says, "I appreciate it, but I'm fasting. Thank you."
As Dahlia like leans over with the mushroom and like rubs it around your face, like, "Oh, come on, it's just a mushroom."
She just like looks like her head looks down at it, looks at you as you're rubbing it against her helmet. She just signs, maybe if you try harder, the helmet will just absorb it into my body.
And she like pushes harder.
And she's just like grabbing her wrist, like stop.
It smells putrid, and now it's stuck on your helmet.
Dahlia's going to take a small bite out of one as she looks very cautiously at Aslan, waiting to see if he's going to kill over.
Aslan has no experience with TARs, like people, their customs, nor does he have experience with armor. So he's like, "Wow, I've never heard of an armor that eats food. That is amazing."
Well, clearly she's not eating food because she didn't take the mushroom.
Yes. No wonder she doesn't eat food. It all makes sense now. She absorbs it from the air.
Very logical, sound conclusion.
Aslan, I want you to go ahead and make a history check for me.
Okay.
Is there?
My judges here. I'll be back.
Okay. Is there anybody else that's going to be partaking?
15.
Okay.
Gladdek won't. He's partaking of the pipe now that dinner's finished.
Okay. Yezreel, I will let you also make a history check because of your background.
Okay.
DM, I want to let it be known that, like, when I pretended to take that mushroom, I obviously pretended to take it, but I still have it in my possession, correct?
Okay. I mean, you didn't clarify that, but that's good to know.
Well, I just assumed, like, it's like I try to pretend to throw it in my mouth, but I just can't throw it.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were, like, throwing it into, like, a potted plant or something.
Oh, no. Sorry, I guess I see why you thought that now.
What was your roll again, Yezreel?
19.
Okay. We'll start with Aslan first. You start thinking back. Mushrooms are not common in this world at all. In fact, the import of such mushrooms stopped when this war began 4 years ago. So you haven't had much experience actually cooking with them. You have seen one specimen, but had never tasted it. And you have heard that some, if grown particularly well in its natural habitat, can have hallucinogenic properties. But you've never actually tasted one, and that's assumedly what you've taken. However, Yezreel, you catch on to the note that Silent Shadow had said that it's infused with deathroot, which you are very familiar with. It's a narcotic, typically used in poisons that are meant to be non-lethal to put people into a deep sleep for a certain amount of time, depending on the dosage.
Are we talking like anesthesia type shit?
Essentially.
So it's a roofie drug. It's a roofie plant. Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Science was like, hope they brought enough condoms.
Can I roll for Bill Cosby?
Oh
See if
God!
he's around here at all or not? You know what I'm saying?
Yezreel, you do know that this it's hard to recall the details, mostly because of the mental state that you're in. You have been told campfire stories of how this plant got its origin name, was that the founder of such plant used it to fake his death, and such as the name was given.
Oh, that's some Skyrim lore right there, dude.
Azrael, knowing this information, kind of looks at the shrooms and goes, I'm good. This is more so just like not wanting to be in a sleep around the people he's not sure how they feel about him.
Dahlia?
Oh, just not related to D&D, just because I want to cringe Colton for a second. I just found a new favorite drink from Fizz. It's called Zippy Zen. It's white, ultra monster, a lemon wedge, 2 squirts of pineapple, 13 pears, and cucumber.
Get the fuck
Sounds pretty good, actually.
That sounds
Oh,
delicious.
It sounded great until the cucumber.
What
it
is
is
it called again?
Zippy Zen.
Zippy Zen.
Hold on, say that one more time for Riley.
Okay, Zippy Zen. It is ultra white monster, a lemon wedge, 2 pineapple, 13 pear, 37 guava, and 41 cucumber.
You know, not much of that sounds good to me.
Oh.
Only guava.
Oh, it is so
Really
good.
good. And you top it off with Mountain Dew.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Hey, Tuck, how long does it take for this mushroom to kick in?
I will describe that shortly.
Okay, good to know.
Oh, boy.
So, Dahlia, you have not taken in the effects of this quite yet. I believe that Dahlia, Silent Shadow, and Aslan were the only ones who partook. Aslan, you consumed the entire thing regardless of being warned. But immediately. It's hard to stay focused because all you see in the corner of your eye is this goddamn Karibo-looking motherfucker that's giving you the stink eye.
Like Karibo, like you.
Did you say Karibo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Karibo?
From
Is there a
Yu-Gi-Oh?
picture?
That's so
I
great.
don't know.
Karibo, it's from Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like
I need to look this up.
It's a big
It's like
fluffy
a-
thing, isn't it?
It's like a brown fluff creature that flies.
Has like sharp teeth.
Everybody's just sitting there. Aslan's like, you look so fluffy.
Did you say Karibo, like from Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's Karibo in the corner of his eye giving him the stink eye.
So fluffy, but you also look like you're gonna kill
Karibo in the
me.
corner giving you the stink eye.
He's like, I don't know who Aslan's dead looking at saying
Just put it
this,
in
but he's just
general.
like, oh, you look so fluffy, but like you're gonna kill me.
Yeah, I just put it in the chat for you.
That's the exact facial expression it's making, for sure.
You all see that in the corner. It's so cute and cuddly.
Dahlia's just gonna like tilt her head at you.
I also looked around. I'm like, what the fuck?
Don't worry, I'll protect all of you from it. And he like falls out the chair.
You do, and maybe it's because of all the basically gas mask treatment you were giving yourself with the goblin bush, or maybe it was the full mushroom that you have partaken in, but you are incapable of moving as of this moment.
Oh yeah, if he falls asleep, he does hardcore.
At this time, you are cognitively awake, but you are physically sleeping. You're able to be aware of your surroundings, but you have a pseudo sleep paralysis at the end of this.
Yeah, so he's like paralyzed, just laying on the ground.
It's relaxing, but this goddamn Karibo won't stop looking at you, and all of a sudden there's two, and then it just starts multiplying like it does in the show, and it's just, all you see is brown fluff, and you have to focus on one so more can go away, but they keep filling in the gaps. It's so... And then you fall asleep. This all happens within the first 5 minutes, Grand You, and you all are just kind of looking at him, just kind of looking across the room, unable to move.
Instead of pink elephants on parade, it's Karibos on parade.
Yeah. He's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no! that's the last thing everybody hears. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no!
Dahlia, with the small portion that you had taken, you're not having as huge of hallucinatory effects. However, the one thing that has been consuming your mind since exiting the battle is the most amount of flame you have ever excreted from your body at once. And it was not even with the assistance of your flame-tongued weapon. The blast that you let out before, you feel that same heat in your throat, the exhaustion in your body that you feel that you're still letting this anger out through a physical manifestation. You're stuck in this feeling. You're aware of your surroundings, but you're in a heightened level of adrenaline. And it could be because of the stress, it could be because of the exhaustion.
Am I seeing anything, or am I just like really twitchy?
You are stuck in the mindset that you were in when you let loose this attack. You don't see anything, but the mental anguish that you're feeling is intense.
Oh.
Does Tar notice this at all?
Dahlia.
So Dahlia's breathing really heavily again. And as with each breath that she is taking, you can see that glow underneath her scales. And yeah.
Tar will kind of put her hand on Dahlia's shoulder and be like, "You okay?"
You'll feel that it's really warm to the touch.
Doesn't bother
her. Silent Shadow kind of stands up. Lotus didn't have this severe of a reaction, but it could be caused by how tired she may be.
She says, "Sit down."
I'm very tired. I promise I will be better within the morning. I'm going to sleep now.
You and I will talk.
BRB.
All right. Gladdek and Yezreel, what are you guys doing?
As they're tripping out on their shrooms, Yezreel goes over and looks over at Gladdek. You got any of that goblin bush?
He'll nod his head as he reaches into his pouch to grab another pipe and passes it over to Yezreel.
Yezreel grabs it and just takes a big hit off of it.
It's tough. It's been many years. At least 50. You said you're about 100, right?
Yes. Let me double check. Yeah, I'm 100 exactly.
Yeah, it's been at least 50 years ago. You were brought to this surprise party in the woods, no surprise, by Hylar, and there was pounds and pounds of this stuff. And you swore off of it long ago, but you're still able to hold it down without coughing, surprisingly enough, and it's definitely a release from your mental anguish at this moment, but you were reminded of a hazing ritual you would put some of the new recruits through, or mainly Hylar, but you were there for the fun, of basically saying that if they could smoke a whole pile of goblin bush, that they could become a part of the squad, and inevitably they never were put on the squad because of your elite stature. So it was just a nice hazing ritual, nonetheless.
Thank you, Gladdek.
Aye, laddie. At this point, Gladdek, kind of looking for a quiet place to pick up his pint and grab his leather notebook where he designs his weapons and shields and whatnot, and he would head out to outside the tent, basically just out where the luminous mushrooms are, where he would start working on a shield design.
Okay. The inside of the structure is roughly around 75 degrees, which was very refreshing because it's a little cold down here. But immediately stepping from a 75-degree tower immediately to about a 45-degree cold and damp, dry air, it's shocking to say the least, but I mean, you grew up around rocks and in caves, so it's not that shocking to you, but it could be to others. Regardless, you take a sit upon this picturesque scene, sitting just beyond the manta ray, seeing this massive waterfall peer down into this creek that's billowing and glowing with like a bluish hue, sitting in purplish green grass that's dry but still moistened enough by the pond that sits before you. Looking up to the roof of the tavern, feeling the iridescent glow from the bioluminescent mushrooms that are mounted to the ceiling above you, you start designing a shield. I want you to go ahead and give me a blacksmithing check. This is just going to be based off of how well your initial designs go. Can you describe kind of what you had in mind with this shield?
Yes, I actually dropped a picture in the chat. So kind of going with the theme of the Earthforgian steel, kind of absorbing heat and then being able to radiate it back, going with like a mirror shield from Legend of Zelda design.
Cool. Awesome. It's cool because of the intricacies that you were able to learn from Tar in her metal crafting. How careful and seemingly like pinpoint accurate she's able to be without even an imprint, or a stamp for the metal that you would typically use. She's able to do it by hand, and you realize with this newfound skill and tool in your arsenal that this is something you could pull off. And you feel great about the designs, taking in some of Tar's design aspects into your own style, feeling more intricate in the details versus more with intricate details for the entire structure. It's fascinating. It may be because of the assistance of able to be relaxed with the goblin bush, and it could be the inspiration of your surroundings, but nonetheless, you feel proud. This is a solid design. Gladdek, as you sit out there for at least an hour trying to sketch this out, trying to pull the idea from your mental fortress, Tar, taking care of a seemingly panicked Dahlia, what are you doing?
She's gonna first ask Dahlia, "Are you okay? Do you need space?"
She says, I don't know what I need right now. I really don't.
She'll sign, "Go to our room and rest. Do not let your rage overcome you in this peaceful night."
She goes, it's probably for the best. And go ahead.
I'll send Toki to come cuddle you. And she pats you and heads outside to take care of her animals and her forage, and she'll send Toki up after feeding.
Okay, so just to remind you, the way that we enter this, at least the entrance to the Underdark, the caravans are sitting right outside, so it would take you at least 12 hours to get back up.
Yeah. Those
Oh,
guys
I
are
didn't know
long,
that.
but-
I didn't know. Yeah, I wasn't here when that. Okay, yeah.
So like this would definitely be a big enough space for it, but it would have to be excavated out from the top, so that make an earthen ramp for it to come down.
Okay, gotcha. Then I'll just she'll say to the group, part of my fasting requires I do not sleep for the night. I will handle the patrols. And she'll go feed Toki and send Toki up with Dahlia.
Okay. I'm fine with you making this decision, but I will give you a point of exhaustion.
Let me just message you something real quick.
Yeah, sure. Not a problem. We'll just go on to, let's see. We're basically going to be rummaging down for the night. Is there anything anyone would like to do before I step forward?
I just want to add what I want to. I know, hearing what. Seeing what Tar said, I'm going to take the first watch with her to work on my project, and then after my watch, I'll just go bed down for the night. So that's where I want to jump into the timeline.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. I missed.
Oh yeah, sorry. Basically, I was just wondering. I'm going to take first watch with Tar after hearing what she said. Excuse me, I did it again. Seeing what she said, and while I'm on watch, I'm going to use that time to work on the project that I mentioned earlier.
Okay, cool. All right. Anyone else? Aslan, you're pretty much passed out where you are. Gladdek, you were out working on your design, and I assume you're going to bed after that, right? Oh, he left. Okay.
He's putting Artemis down.
Gotcha. Yezreel.
Yezreel finishes smoking the pipe that Gladdek gave him as he goes and lays down as well.
Okay. Let's see here. Am I forgetting anyone? No. As we bed down for the night, Cain Maxwell, you go walk over to Tar. Tar, where are you at now that everybody's kind of gone up to their rooms?
So Tar is in the main bottom floor, and she's actually like sitting on one of the larger pillows with her back against the wall, with her eyes on the door, basically. And right at this current moment, she is just polishing her broken longsword.
So I will enter the room quietly, just letting my presence being known. And maybe I'll sit like across the way from her, 12 to 6, if you will, and essentially putting me in between her and the door.
Stupid. I love it.
I'll just kind of look up to you, and I just kind of I'm sorry, I don't really know this, but I think I've been able to catch on to at least this. You and I. And I just do this.
Can I roll for an insight just to see if Tar gets it?
I mean, I'll let you roll, but Cain, I'll let you describe what she discerns.
Okay.
Well, so my intention was, isn't this like friend in sign language?
Is it? I have no idea.
Nick, you're gonna have to verify for me.
Yes, that is right.
Okay, perfect, cool. Then she does it back, and you actually hear in your head, "We're friends."
And I just give you a sincere bow of the head.
She doesn't say. She's stupid. She does the same and goes, I admire you as a warrior. You are strong.
I stand up when I hear the snoring, and I'll grab a blanket that's thrown about in the room and sort of drape it over Aslan. Who, is he just like passed out over the? Did he break the chair below him? Like, what's happening?
He was in a I think he was in like a beanbag kind of pillow. So I imagine it.
Just super plush pillows that you guys were sitting on.
So I imagine his main body mass is like his belly and guts laying in the beanbag, but then his head and arms are just kind of like thrown, off of it, and he's just kind of like starfishing over top the beanbag. Just...
You see, like one of his tucks is stuck between one of the table legs.
Okay, so I just kind of like flick it out and make it like land on him completely as much as I can. And the blanket's probably not big enough to cover his whole body.
No.
But I oh look, that's Loki, I think.
Aw, so mischievous.
After doing that, I sit back down, but this time maybe like, you know, not quite adjacent, but closer to her, where I'm not necessarily in between the door, and I say, we haven't been able to connect like the way I have with Gladdek, but I believe I can trust you. I'm about to reveal something to you that is world-changing.
He scoots in close and has her hands on her knees, like kind of like very much like a supportive anime side character.
And I pause as I slowly reach to my back pocket.
Oh my god!
And I look up to you, and in like a quick flash, you don't even see the movement of my arm, I throw up my mask, and suddenly before you sits Colonel Cain Maxwell.
And right in that moment, both her hands go to her mouth as she's like anime characters do.
And I just instantly go to a shush. Instantly to a shush.
She mimics you. She goes. She signs. I am truly blown away. Your identity was just impeccable.
Tar, you and Gladdek are the only ones who know. Please, can I trust that you will keep my secret identity safe?
I will take it to the grave. This is the forward path.
And I go for a fist bump.
She does it too. No problem. And then she keeps polishing her broken longsword and just looks up to you and nods.
So for the remaining of the watch, the 8 little pieces of wood that I had made, like cut down to size and stuff, I'm going to I'm not going for detail, really just like rough basic shapes that imply character. But I'm going to carve a small, like 4-inch or so idol that represents the members of the group. And so like each one like looks distinct and like you know, like I said, it's very bare bones, so like a lot of room is left open for like imagination, but my goal is to have each one of them be like carved well enough, and then I'll like sand bits down and like make it look nice as a final product. But as far as detail goes, it's a little more bare.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a woodcarver's tools check. Dex proficiency. I will say though, any type of rolls that would be made to assist in this watch will not be able to happen with your focus being here.
I'm not actually watching for bad guys. I'm just like doing my thing. You know.
I am.
So yeah, I don't have that made as a thing yet. So I'm just gonna like. Actually, here we go. I'll just roll a d20.
Okay.
Dex +3 +6. Oh man, that's not the greatest, but it's an 11. I wasn't really going for.
Yeah, exactly. You got exactly what you were going for, which gives you room to improve on in the future, which is perfect. But you've basically made a the equivalent of a rough carved. Jesus, what is the what is the Christmas decoration called? The birth of Jesus. The what's the little wooden
Manger?
figurine? Yeah, no, the manger is involved, but what's the scene?
Oh,
You all know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
The Last Supper.
No,
Oh, it's like the birth of Jesus Christ. See,
yeah,
baby Jesus.
Nativity?
Nativity.
yeah, the nativity set. You basically have a nativity set of this group in very rough carved wooden shapes.
I have one more question. Do I have enough time? Because I do have a basic set of paints. Can I like paint the appropriate parts to also sell the image of who this is supposed to be?
If you want to finish this in one watch, I will have you make the roll at disadvantage. But because you don't really have the time in
I'll save it.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Okay. Tar, after Colonel Cain Maxwell revealed himself to you, the man who has been escorting you throughout this entire journey, coming exactly when he's needed, has now revealed his identity. You're left with kind of confusion as he just starts carving his wooden figurines.
Yeah, I just totally ditched it.
And she got
He just stays in the room too, and just wood shavings everywhere, not taking the mind to clean them up. But what are you doing during the rest of your watch?
for the rest of her watch, she's just in like she sitting in the big plush pillow with her legs crossed. She has her broken longsword in her hands with her palms facing up, as she's almost like in a meditative state while she is looking directly at the only way into this tower.
You spend most of your time looking, and with your training, it is easy to not move even an inch while keeping your stance stoic and stare right at your target with an unflinching gaze. The only thing that partakes your gaze from this stare is a slight blurred image that keeps circling in and out about every 10 minutes. It takes you a minute to figure out what this is and discern if it's a threat or not. But eventually, as it passes by one more time, you just see a dark cosmic image flying around the tower.
No!
Cammy seems to be taking a perimeter.
Oh, okay. I had thought it was something else for a second. No joke, thought it was Girder, everybody.
It was who?
What was his name? Girder?
Yep,
Sir?
it was Girder.
Oh, was it? Oh, Surtur! That's what it
Surtur.
was. Sorry, everybody.
Girder.
You guys are gonna have to unravel the secrets of Surtur now that.
Yeah, I actually forgot about him. I wonder where he is. Interesting.
Anyways, oh fuck! I was going to say something. Never mind.
Surtur.
Tar will get out of her meditative state after 6 hours and just perform her standard P exercises, her soldier exercises and routines while one's still sleeping.
Okay. We're going to continue on. I'm not going to require a watch from everybody. You're able to discern that the area is safe, that the only entrance is the stairwell.
Does
and
this
that
tower work like Liam's Tiny Hut or whatever the fuck it's
Yeah.
called?
It's basically that,
So
but
they
a tower.
can't even enter if they
No.
wanted to.
Nope.
Gotcha.
Has to be granted permission from the user, if I recall properly.
Unless there's a strong enough spell, and then you have to use the wish spell to repair the tower.
Yeah.
It is possible.
So before I go to bed, then I'm going to open everyone's door very quietly as much as I can. If it wakes them, I'm not like.
They're just curtains. They're really thick
Oh, great!
and multi-layered curtains.
I'm foregoing the paint idea, and because Cain is feeling sort of excited, I guess, about the prospect of this whole idea. So I'll go to everyone's rooms and sort of like place their little wooden idol that is carved to resemble them, except for Yezreel. I do just keep his in my possession, though.
I'll keep that in mind.
Did you?
Sorry, continue. I was just going to continue the narrative.
Listen, did you give Tar hers, or are you still?
Sorry. I guess I would have given yours before I walked off.
She immediately puts rope through it and has like a necklace.
Cool. And I just kind of stick around long enough to watch you do it, and I just give you a very heroic sort of like head nod, and then go off to deliver the rest.
Okay. All right. The rest of the party. Tar, you're able to discern that the area is going to be safe. The only thing that would be crawling around is just little creatures that may crawl through the wall every once in a while, but nothing that would put you in inherent danger. So you go off to sleep with, or the equivalent. You just keep an eye out, just kind of resting your body, but still watching the entrance passively.
Yes.
I'm going to start off with Dahlia. You're in this heightened state of adrenaline until your body just gives out from the exhaustion of letting loose such a powerful attack. You pass out into a certain amount of delirium. I want you to please roll me a intelligence saving throw.
Ew.
This is versus magic if you have any resistances.
Well, that would be a dirty 20.
Okay. So, you're not going to receive any negative effects from this. But what you see is this blurred image. I want you to describe yourself in a blank surrounding. What do your... Like in an incognitive sense, you're in your mind's eye right now with nothing else around you. Can you describe what this scene looks like?
So, am I just kind of like floating, or am I actually standing?
Yeah, let's say you're floating. What
Okay, so
it's like this void that you're in, but what does this void look like?
So as she like looks around, it almost looks as if like she's in the vacuum of space. Just no planets, just abyss.
You see a couple of stars within this space-like almost odyssey that you find yourself in. It's oddly relaxing. You're able to relax your muscles a bit, and it's calming to say the least that you don't have the strenuous strain of gravity pulling on you. You see this shooting star cross the screen. It continues to circle you until it comes right up close to you as a burning fireball. And it stops. And you see a oh-so-familiar form. Scales red as scarlet. An axe that gleams with fire.
Ooh.
This dragonborn figure walks himself proudly in front of you. And gives you a nod.
Oh shit!
Dahlia recognizes this nod, and she draws her axe as well.
Keep going forward, Dahlia.
Otis, are you really dead?
You are continuing the path I put before you. Good luck, sister. And the star shoots away.
Yeah. I was anticipating it, that's why I did that.
And for the length of your final rest, you are stuck in this starry atmosphere for the remainder of your rest, with the thought that Lotus may have had something planned for you all along. Aslan, you are in a stone-cold slumber. You have never slept so good. When you wake up, it's going to feel like you've slept for 1,000 years in an itty-bitty tiny little space.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be uncomfortable, but very well rested.
Nice.
Completely dreamless. It was almost a sweet escape to get away from the Karibos that were blinding your sight. But as soon as you were able to get sight out of the equation, nothing but a restful sleep, such as Silent Shadow had described. Oh, excuse me. Such as Silent Shadow had described.
Hell yeah.
Yezreel, it's very difficult for you to fall asleep. And you feel, you hear footsteps enter your room and a little notch of something on your side table. You don't open your eyes. You just sit and try to rest as your mind races of all the possibilities and the things that you could have done differently. But tell me, now that you are in your own safe space, what is it that Yezreel wants now?
As Yezreel is contemplating all of his actions, trying to sleep, realizes that what he wants is to, one, never repeat the actions of his previous adventure, and two, to not lie to this party whatsoever.
Would you say that you're taking a vow?
I would.
Cool. Yezreel, as you sit there in your restful and exhausted state, mentally and physically from the fight that had been procured, potentially fixing a relationship with one that you had thought was lost forever with Silent Shadow, but losing relationship you have built along the way. Vowing that you will always be truthful to this group. You don't feel anything in particular, and you don't see anything in particular, but you get this feeling. Somebody liked what you said.
Okay.
I'm not sure where it came from, or if it's even real. It could be your thoughts playing tricks. It could be your psyche trying to control your actions. It could be your guilty conscience trying to give you an out to feel better about how you have put yourself in. But regardless, you seem somewhat validated in your vow. Gladdek, after you finish your sketch, feeling very proud of what you were able to accomplish, unable to discern the time, you realize that you have spent much longer out here than what you had planned. I assume you just head off to bed?
Yes, Gladdek.
You meet him, my friend.
Yeah, Gladdek would head to bed at that point with the intent of getting up early to head to the forge.
Okay, so you're going to head up to the forge now?
In the morning.
First thing in the morning.
Gotcha, okay.
He's gonna wait. He said he wanted to wake up early enough to get to the forge.
Okay, well, like I said to Tar earlier, it's going to take some time to get back there. It'll probably take most of the day to get there because of how far you are underground.
Does he have a traveling kit or something like that?
Well, he had it in the caravan.
Can we say that he has it on him?
Sorry, I was turning wheels, assuming there was one in her.
Oh, Tara, is there a forge in your tower?
I would say currently no, just because she's used to having just her wagon, where the whole back part of it is a, you know, the thing's like a little shop wagon, you know, not really room for people. So no, not currently, but this situation will probably make her rethink that going forward.
All right. Well, now that you're in this space so far underground, away from all your tools, feeling so inspired, potentially giving you another reason to go back to Ravana. Having the thought of what to do now continues to overlap in your mind. The answer was not given in the discussion. We talked about, Gladdek, you had brought up the moral obligations of trying to save who is right and who is wrong and where you should stand on the side of the fence, but what do you do? And that question is continually riddling your mind. You're still relaxed, however, with the goblin bush just still barely keeping its hold on your psyche.
Is this in the morning or before he goes to sleep?
Oh, this is before he goes to sleep.
Oh.
I'm just taking I assume that he finishes just about right after first watch is when his sketch ends.
Oh, okay.
What do you do, Gladdek, as you start kind of picking up your stuff and your pencils and your paper?
It's one of those things Gladdek has kind of been avoiding this entire time. Basically, as soon as he had learned that he was in the royal lineage, he's realizing more and more that as a leader, especially of a nation, that there is an obligation to be more than just a weapon out on the field, and that it's often harder to feel that sort of role, which is why he'd been partaking of the Goblin Bush as much as he had, trying to figure out what role he will feel on this team, what he needs to say to each of the members, specifically Tar, how he approaches that conversation of trying to understand where she's coming from and get her to take the next step forward, how to get Aslan to come to terms with that combat is going to be a thing on this adventure. And then he's gonna kind of look out to the mushrooms again. Moradin, if you're there, I could use your insights. I know there's more to this world than just fighting. I want to be more. And with that, he'll wait a minute or two to see if there's any sort of response, and then go to bed.
Gladdek, feeling the sense of disparity and vulnerability with your beliefs, you reach out to Moradin. And you're not sure what you expected. Whether it be a voice, whether it be a sign that you were heard. This thought kind of raises your mind, feeling stupid that you even talked to the freaking cave to bring you insight into the situation. You start to pack up your stuff and stand up and walk towards the tower. You feel fire in your soul. You feel your heartbeat strike as an anvil continually whaps it.
Cool.
Swear an oath to me that you will create and not destroy. That you will do what's right. You know what is on this plane of existence that can be good and can be bad. Make your choice. Do not make a fool out of my judgment.
Taking this as a sign that his most recent design was the right decision. I swear it.
It shall be done. Serve me well, Gladdek Earthforge. Your family will continue to make me proud.
Fuck yeah, dude! Whoa! Wee!
Hell yeah.
Woo!
That's all you hear. And you're not sure if this was actually spoken or if this was your heart telling you what you needed to hear. It's hard to discern, but you feel a certain sense of euphoria as a newfound structure of belief has entered your atmosphere.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Although he did not introduce himself, so that's going to
Oh my god!
It's going to take some more time and research to really ascertain who you were speaking to and what they meant by the words that they said. But you have a feeling you know. Left with this certain sense of serenity, you walk back up to the tower. What do you do?
Gladdek would carefully put everything back where it goes. Basically, the notebook set off in its place. Placing his Warhammer Thumper up against the side of the bed, against the wall. And then I think that would be it.
I have one question. When he starts to come back into the tower, is that about when my watch ends?
Yes.
Okay, so timeline still stuff happens, but instead I'll just hand Gladdek his little like idol that I made.
Go ahead and RP it out.
So as you come in, it's right after me and right as I'm walking away from some interaction I had with Tar. I say, Gladdek, I hope you appreciate this as much as I appreciate your wisdom. And I give you this little wooden idol that's probably about 4 inches tall or so. Yours is probably a little bit shorter because of your stature. But, you know, like, it's definitely, like, caveman relic looking. You know, you can kind of, like, tell it's supposed to be you, but there's, like, a lack of detail that's there. And I just try to give you a little bit of a head nod as I continue on to go deliver the rest.
Thank you, laddie, as he like claps your shoulder, and he stares at it, and he kind of like gets some inklings of what he wants to add to it based off of what just happened outside the site.
And right as he touches my shoulder, that whole anime sound effect of like the whole is like kind of, and as it happens, I'm just like, I'm like, yes, I've made the right decision inside my head.
Okay, and I think I've gotten through everybody. Did I skip someone?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
We all arise into what you think is the morning. Again, it's so hard to tell with being underground, but you feel like you all have received a restful amount of sleep. Yezreel, I'm not going to give you any exhaustion points. However, you are going to wake up pretty groggy. You didn't sleep well. You were able to have some kind of relief by expressing your thoughts in such a quiet and dark place, but you're still groggy nonetheless. However, everyone else feeling well rested, especially you, Dahlia, knocking off those exhaustion points. Good gosh.
Only one.
Only one. Thank you.
But you can make it all of them if you want.
I'm gonna say, because of the events that happened in your
Vision?
in your vision, I'm gonna say you're gonna awake with 0 exhaustion.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
So is that a long rest?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, since Aslan passed out on the beanbag, I'm just gonna put his wooden idol kind of tucked into his trunk area.
Okay.
He just wakes up choking, just shoots it out. Hits the wall, it hits
That's
the wall,
exactly
and then
what I
it
was
hits
about
the
to go
back of
with.
the
Is
head.
that like a fucking cannon?
Yeah, then it ricochets off the wall and hits him in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As everyone kind of stirs up from their slumber, everyone except Yezreel, you awake to find a roughly carven sculpture of yourselves.
Yezreel doesn't find one. I kept his.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Everyone but Yezreel.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that part. I didn't mean to make that sound like I was trying to rub it in. Sorry.
Yeah, man, we get it. It's, Cain hates Ezreal.
No.
He wouldn't give a wooden carved structure to a freaking scum of the earth.
Almost scum.
Tar, when she wakes up earlier, she actually takes it off her neck and wraps it around her leather belt. I didn't know it was 4 inches long, so she'll have it hanging there, and then she'll do her soldier routine.
Okay. I'm going to assume everybody just kind of does their thing because I want to be able to get to some of the other parts I had planned today.
Sure.
Is there anything specific you guys wanted to have planned out before this tower goes kaput?
I want one conversation with Yezreel
You got it.
in private.
Well, let's just say that, Cain, as you're kind of taking your rounds up and down the stairs, you feel a tinge of guilt that you didn't give Yezreel his...
No guilt.
Gotcha. You walk past Yezreel's room, and he seems to be waking up.
Yeah, Yezreel's waking up, just kind of getting his gear on, mainly putting his daggers on.
I'll kind of like stomp my foot on the ground as if that's my way of knocking. Yezreel?
Come in.
And like I'll sort of like a buff dude on an airplane, like maneuver through the blankets, like in an obnoxious way because of my big form. And as I walk in, I see you like just about done getting ready for the day. I wanted to be clear with you. Yezreel, at first I thought it was I could not trust you, but I quickly learned after hearing your story, it's not about trust. You see, Yezreel, where I come from, everything you do is based on what you are able to, excuse me, how you are judged is what you are able to do, and what you do. There's no need for me to say it again.
I understand.
But I want to let you know that I do see you as an ally, and I trust you. But I don't know if I could trust that you would not leave me behind. Until you can prove to me otherwise, that will be the case.
I understand. I do want to let you know, even though words do not speak as loudly as actions do.
They say nothing, but let's hear it.
I have vowed to myself that I will never leave you guys behind, and I will never lie to you again. And I will prove that to you. I just want you to know.
I just pause for like 2 or 3 beats, looking at him in the eyes. Like really taking him in, showing all of me to him through my glance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Take this as a, because I do believe.
You're cutting out.
Sorry, you're cutting out.
Shit, hold on. How's that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit.
You were handing me something.
Oh, take this as a good faith. And I reach out my hand, and it's the wooden idol that is roughly carved in your visage. I recognize that only time will be able to tell if you are being honest with me now. But I'm willing to put my neck out for you. As I hand it over, and it's like a 4-inch tall, wooden, carved thing that kind of resembles you.
Grab it and thank you. This means a lot to me.
As does it to me. I hope you really take it to heart.
I do.
Well, I'm hungry.
Perfect. Yezreel slips the little totem in his cloak and right by his heart.
As everyone kind of completes their morning rituals and heads downstairs, Aslan, you kind of wake up from a droopy sleep. You're stuck for a moment because you feel with your snout that your trunk, that there is something that's in front of it, but also as you go to tilt your head, your tusk is stuck on the table leg. It takes you some acrobatics to try to caterpillar your way out of the situation you have found yourself until you're able to stand up and see that your group of friends has come down and are eagerly awaiting a meal.
Yeah, as y'all are all coming down, you ever sat on a couch or a bed that was so soft and plush that it really took a couple of tries to get out of the damn thing? You're and you had to rock back and forth to kind of throw your weight. That's kind of how Aslan looks. As you come down the stairs, you just see him trying and failing to get up, and he's and he finally just gives up, and like a turtle, he just rolls over on his gut like Poe, and just boom. And there's there's an after jiggle effect of just boom. And then he gets up. Hello. Oh yes, breakfast. I will start cooking.
Or she signs hello and good morning and sits down. She signs to the group. Each of your rooms has a washroom with a stove and a tub for heating up water if you wish to take a bath in the morning.
Okay. So everybody takes time to freshen up, and I would say that just as a quick kind of start for the day, Aslan, you just kind of prepare basically some rations. There's not really eggs or anything that have been stocked because of, it can't keep well. But you're able to make some type of potato and yam mash, kind of like a hash, with some ground bits of the leftover steak from last night, as well as topped with a roux that you have built through flour and butter. So all in all, pretty good. Not necessarily bland by any means, but definitely,
food.
Yeah. It gives you some the nutritional value you would need to continue a journey.
I'll say Aslan probably kind of just snacks on the food as he's making it.
As a true chef would.
Yes, taste testing, but also eating.
Yes,
because he is very very tired, and he's just wanting something to eat. And he'll kind of just place out the food for everybody to eat on the dining table. But given that he ate during cooking, he won't join everybody because he could definitely use a shower. He is feeling stinky, so he's gonna go do that while everybody eats.
Okay, as you bring out the food, Silent Shadow stands up, feeling much more fortified with all the care he had received yesterday. I don't know what you plan to do. And, frankly, I don't want to be a part of it. Thank you for rescuing me, and sorry for all the harm I have caused.
So I'm totally not the adventuring type, so I don't know what to say to you, but it was great meeting you. I'm sorry that you had such a hard time. I really hope you take care in your travels. Do you want me to cook you anything for the road?
I'm okay.
What about the manta ray?
I think we'll be leaving.
You sure you don't want to join us for brunch? What about secondsies? First lunch? What about second lunch?
Dahlia?
Damn it.
Also, Aslan's voice reminds me of like the whole "Bye, buddy. I hope you find your dad."
That's literally the vibe I'm going for. He's got a very guttural, bellow voice.
Winnie the Pooh. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Winnie the Pooh, but a little more deep.
Wow.
I'm trying really hard not to be a giggly fuck because that just tickled me, and Colton's fucking goddammit intensifies really me hard. So I'm giggling all over the goddamn place. It said Debbie before Silent Shadow leaves. Dahlia wants to have a conversation with him.
Are we all down when he's trying to leave?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, okay. I thought it was just Aslan. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
No, Aslan is bringing...
I don't know what to do.
This conversation is happening as Aslan is passing out all the food.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll still say Aslan says that. He's really nice. He doesn't get the whole vibes. He wish he would stay, but he's going to go take a shower and let them deal with it.
As Aslan starts to walk off, I look over to Gladdek to sort of shoot him a look of well, maybe this is best, / are we sure about that? As I look over back to Silent Shadow, you are an incredible fighter, and I'm not asking you to trust humanity again, but you might be able to help us and potentially redeem your friends that you lost.
Thank you. I don't wish to atone for the sins of those people I once trusted. But whatever happens, I will at least lead you to the city that the Drow are hiding in right now. Whatever happens will happen. War will not stop, no matter the innocent on either side. I will just be here, with my manta ray and my shadow, and if we cross paths again, I'll share my brews with you. But that is all.
You know, Cain Maxwell's not the most insightful guy, but he kind of understands when someone's made up their mind. And I just wanting a little bit more out of him, other than just deadiness there. I'll accept that and just give him a little bit of a head nod.
Israel goes up to Silent Shadow and is like, "Thank you for being an ally. I know it might have been hard with what you have gone through, but I promise to these people and to you, I will not repeat the actions of the past."
You don't need to promise me, Yezreel. I know that you won't.
Safe travels.
Yezreel, one more thing.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
For what?
I don't want to say that you weren't my friend. But you were not involved in what happened. You did what you could. You got out with your life. It's what I should have done as well. But you have the power to change this world. So do it.
I will. Zero just kind of claps Silent Shadow on the shoulder.
He doesn't reciprocate and continues walking out.
Nice.
Dahlia, you're able to catch Silent Shadow as he's walking out to have your private conversation out of the tower.
As Dahlia approaches Silent Shadow, she looks at him dead in the face and says, I saw Lotus last night.
I've been seeing him for about 2 weeks.
May I ask you something before you go? And will you be honest with me?
I don't have reason to lie. You all have saved my life and have saved me from this curse. It's the least I could do.
Were you going to kill him?
Yes. Only because the bond that they had shared. Nizram was her name. The caster I spoke of. I realize I didn't say so earlier. Nizram was her name. I don't know what went on in her head, or if she had any influence on Lotus at all. All I know is one second they were close friends, and all of a sudden they were much closer. And that same night, everything happened. If you want more answers, Nizram had a demon with her that was bound to her soul and is bound to this plane of existence. His name is Surtur. Find him.
No! No! No!
She repeats the name back to you. Surtur.
He's very tall, muscular, and has tentacles for a mouth.
No!
Before you go, I have one last question, and then
Oh.
I will let you go in peace. I will not come after you. Do you believe he's gone?
I promised my honesty, and I will give you that. We fought a beholder, or whatever it was called, on a quest from Lord Thaddeus to retrieve an artifact that had been stolen from him, in order to gain the respect and the trust of the Drow people. Lotus was turned to stone in this encounter, and we were just able to save him. The thing that shook me the most, and that stopped my advance, Lotus, carrying the corpse of Nizram, walking to the ocean's edge, wished that they would be stone together at the bottom of the sea. I didn't look for him because it was his dying wish. That's all I know.
Thank you. And Gaia will just turn and head right back in.
You all see a silhouette of a shadowed, hairless Tabaxi walking down, passing without even glancing at the corpse of this dead manta ray on the shore, walking down into the water and swimming into the cavern below. After the scene ends, the party convenes back after everyone has washed up and gathered the thoughts of the motions that have been stated by Silent Shadow in his passing. What do we do now? The group thinks to themselves.
I'm gonna nudge Gladdek.
It was one of those. Gladdek was so deep in thought that it kind of like startles him. Well, I'm for one for checking out this Drow city to see what there is, what we're missing. We need this piece of the puzzle before we can do anything else.
Tara will nod her head kind of without signing. Her feelings are mixed about the situation.
I agree.
Yezreel.
Yes. We need to figure out the whole route.
Dahlia.
Wow, my mind just drew a blank. I hate it when that happens.
It's okay.
Um,
We're just seeing what Dahlia's opinion is, whether we go back up or continue to the Drow City.
I think we should go to the Drow. And real quickly, she turns to Yezreel. I have a question for you.
Of course.
Do you know about Surtur?
Surtur.
Oh, fucking tell us, dude!
It was...
Fuck him.
I didn't know much about Surtur. I only saw him a few times, but he seemed attached to Nizram, the lady that Lotus was so fond of.
You think,
What was that?
do you think he's still down here?
I cannot be sure. But if he is still on this plane, he is down here.
And to the Drow City, I say we go.
Tars will sign whatever we need to do to help find your brother. I am with you, Dahlia.
Cain throws a fucking big one in.
She
Hold on,
followed.
I want to. Hold on, I want to hear from Gladdek and Aslan.
Okay, sorry. I'll wait.
I was gonna say I would wait until Aslan goes because I kind of started off the decision-making process here.
All right, you have the floor, Evan.
Well, all I really want to do is help put an end to this war. I don't really care whose side I help to do that, just whatever is the right side. So I'd like to know more. I'm not as experienced as all of you, but I can at least put my 2 tusks into it.
Then it's decided then, as Gladdek like stamps the hammer into the ground.
Fuck yeah! Right on cue. Fucking Cain throws a big one in, dude.
Hard joins.
Gladdek will join begrudgingly.
Yes, I fist pump when you do it. I look over at you, Dahlia.
You see Dahlia, like, as she reaches her hands in, She like slides in and clasps fingers with you.
Yeah, so like I'm trying to feel it in the moment, so I'm doing my best to like let that not affect me. But there's like a part of me that just like part of my eye just kind of breaks for a second.
You can feel the like her middle finger claw just like caress the top of your hand.
Par's hand joins in a weird three-way feeling with your guys' pinkies.
Yeah, they can see you.
I look over to Aslan.
Aslan has never really done this before, but he like slowly puts his like big meaty hand on top of everybody's.
As that happens, I do like a fucking head nod, and in that moment, I make eye contact with Yezreel and give him the same exact look I gave him at the end of our conversation. And I give him a little head nod.
Israel's kind of smiles and puts his hand on top.
Go, go!
As you guys all put your hands in the center, this question was asked on the last session.
Oh, fuck!
Group name.
Here it is, guys. How
shit.
can we not? We done.
I was about to say Aslan would bring that up. He'd be like, "What is our name, by the way?"
Sorry to put you all on the spot. But we're like 5 sessions deep. I want a group name.
Okay.
What does the basis have to be? Let's think of that.
Do we like the theme of the Phoenix, or do we want to move away from that theme?
We also have a theme of wind. This campaign was started on the Howling Wind.
Breaking wind.
You got fucking
Painful.
cringe. Okay, so because I do like the Phoenix theme. If the majority likes Evan's original name that he said, the Phoenix Rebirth and down, I still very much like the Phoenix Force.
I'm down for Phoenix Force.
Phoenix's Rebirth.
Phoenix's Rebirth. Does anyone else have any suggestions? Because those are the only ones that were really thrown out.
I think Phoenix Force is a solid team name.
Agreed.
Yeah. The only other one that I have is like Phoenix's Wind. Like
I do like the Howlers. That'd be kind of a cool name.
the Howlers.
The Howling.
Hey,
The Winds of Change?
Wait, what about the Howling Wind?
That's the name of the ship.
Oh, that's right. I
The
like
Howling
Phoenix Force.
Tempest.
The wind a howling.
Okay, well, as far as what I'm hearing, the Winds of Change and Phoenix Force seem to be the most liked option so far.
Roll a d20.
I want to make sure everybody is cool with that first.
Well, we can call it
Coin
to a
flip.
vote.
Yeah, I'd rather call it to a vote.
Is there a way to do a poll in Discord?
Well, I mean,
Yes,
we can do a straw poll.
No, that's
No.
It could all just be like
Straw poll is a website.
those in favor of Phoenix form do the clapping thing.
Phoenix Force.
Phoenix Force.
Phoenix Force.
No.
That's 1, 2,
Oh, I want to do it too, but I did it too slow.
3. 3 in favor of Phoenix Force. Those in favor of the other one do the quack.
Winds of Change. Don't know how to do a quack, but quack.
So Winds of Change and Phoenix Rebirth were the 3.
Phoenix Force.
Phoenix Force.
Okay, well that's the majority vote then. Phoenix Force it is.
Yes.
So
Great.
you need to like come up with like an X Force or like something that.
Phoenix Force.
What if we do like a
Yes.
what if we do like a Ginyu Force pose that makes like the shape of a phoenix?
Cool.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, we
with
can do
Cain
that.
Maxwell doing like a thing
Yes.
at the top.
Right.
Maxwell
And
is
it's just
for
like
sure the
curved like
spine.
that.
Maxwell is like for sure the spine, and we're like the feathers, you know?
Wow.
Hey. As the Phoenix Force puts all their hands in, putting all quotations to the side, you all put your hands in, knowing the Phoenix Force is ready to rise.
Ready to burn!
His tail got caught. Sorry, guys, 1 second.
No, you're good. You're good.
My drawing pad just got thrown. I don't know if it works anymore.
Oh no!
Now I'm just thinking of the song.
Man, I love that we're going back to this city. I spent so much time designing this city. Jeez.
I'm back.
Okay, as the Phoenix Force puts their hands in, ready to continue the adventure, you all follow the footsteps of Silent Shadow, seeing his head peer beneath the water. And you know where you must go.
Tar will get Toki all strapped up in her leather carrier. And she'll
Can you tell me an incantation or a verbal incantation for your tower?
Oh yeah. After one gets out of the tower, she starts to draw a weird symbol on it that almost makes the symbol of. She's actually writing in her people's language. After writing a small paragraph that goes up and down, up and down, up and down, the tower just like folds into itself into a stone cube as she puts it in her pack.
Okay. As I described before, when Gladdek had stepped outside, it's very much colder outside of this tower. Kept about 75 degrees with all the constant heat sources continually billing in and the constantly firing stove from the downstairs. Stepping outside, it's brisk. You go from a 75 to a straight 45. Cold.
Dang!
Damp. And as you slosh around in the mud, walking towards Silent Shadow, having your boots graze amongst the purple and green grass that's strung amongst the ground before you, you walk up to the sandy beach with this grayish toned sand. And following the path of Silent Shadow, he swims directly downward. What all do you do?
Tar's gonna go. Oh, go ahead.
I just since I don't wear armor, I just want to remove like the bits of clothing on me, like basically trying to strip down, not nude, but just to make it easier for me to swim. Totally Baywatching this, you know what I'm saying?
Actually, Tar will let Toki swim on their own because she knows she's just gonna sink to the bottom as she just goes first all the way down.
I'm gonna say that Toki is actually a pretty strong swimmer, and with Toki gradually getting a little bit bigger as time goes on, we'll be able to assist you in swimming, but won't be able to like pull you like itself. So, like,
it can swim on its own.
Like it can swim on its own, and it can assist you, but just barely.
She'll be fine. She'll let it swim on its own while she just walks on the bottom.
Okay.
Like Pirates of the Caribbean skeletons.
So
yes.
Everybody submerges into the water then.
Yep.
I do it Rambo style, so I just like go all the way to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Using my trunk as a snorkel for as long as possible for air.
Okay.
Dahlia wants to use her tail in form of the beast, so that way it gets a little bit larger, so that way she can use that to propel herself through the water.
Tell me how it looks like.
So as she's about to like enter the water, you just see her tail just start to gradually puff up as she dives headfirst, and just as it's swishing, you can see the wave of bubbles coming off of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Dahlia, you surpass your party by leagues. Everybody's just having to swim, having half their movement, but I'm going to say with that, you just keep your movement speed. I don't know the ruling on it, but that's how we're going to do it for now.
Okay.
You're able to see that there is a pretty large cave entrance underneath the water. And you assume that this is where Silent Shadow went. Do you urge the party forward?
Yes.
Okay, Dahlia, you kind of wait by the entrance, having all the party members pass. This kind of small-ish cavern stretches about maybe 100 or so feet before some shining light from above, where you can tell you can surface at the other end of this cavern.
As I see this, Dahlia's ushering for everybody to catch up, and as she proceeds her way in.
It takes an uncomfortable amount of time for Tar to catch up. And with your increased swimming ability with your enhanced tail, I'll say that you can help her, at least move at a slightly quicker pace to get
propeller.
to the... Yeah.
When she,
She just comes up behind you and holds onto your back and just...
Fond memories of this, Tar, actually cross your mind, coming across different watering holes throughout the desert. Seeing that it's not uncommon for Dahlia to increase certain bits of her body mass to increase her swimming ability.
She kind of does a giggling type, with her hands. And then, as she climbs out, everyone just sees, gallons of water pouring out of, every inch of her armor.
You all emerge onto the surface, and the scene described by Tar does happen. Water just continually pours, and at each and every step, there seems to be pockets of water that were trapped within the armor that continue to slosh around. It's kind of hard to activate your hands for a moment. You might have to oil them up when you get a chance. Not going to give you any disadvantages, though.
That's fair.
But you all submerge to see this crystalline cavern, not as big as the one that you just left, maybe about half the size. But there is limestone deposits everywhere and crystalline structures acting as stalactites and stalagmites. And you see a very calmly seated, hairless tabaxi sitting at this ramshackled hut, so to speak, with all different kinds of mushrooms and several kegs that he kind of waves you down. Welcome, customers.
Or waves.
Customers?
Aslan waves.
Hello?
I don't get many passers-by here at my shop. Here, try my wares.
Before I go to the shop, is there a stalagmite that I could quickly go behind?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I do that, and in one brief motion, just as I'm out of view of the party, I throw my mask on, and emerge as Colonel Cain Maxwell.
Yeah, where did Cain go? Nobody knows. Maybe he's drowning, but if he was, Colonel Cain Maxwell would be there to save the day.
As I come back to the party, I winked at Tar.
And Tar will sign so everyone can hear her. She makes a gasping sign and go, Colonel Cain Maxwell here to help us? I am honored.
Heck thing.
Aslan just not reading the situation. Just, hi, Cain. He just, hi, Cain.
I don't even acknowledge it. I just look past you.
Do you all have to the shop? Do you all have a group name? You seem to be well-seasoned adventurers.
Cool.
Shit.
Colonel Cain, I think this is for you.
As Yeshua says that, I'm already twisting down and standing back up as a little swirl, and I'll just throw my hands up like that and flex my arms and get into the phoenix position.
Tar will join in a heartbeat to be supportive.
Wow. Yeah, you could do a little thing on the side.
Exactly, and she's wiggling she has her fingers sticking out to make them look like feather ends.
Yes.
Aslan gets behind with some oil, throws it on the stove, and then adds some water.
Yes.
That was up behind.
Yes. Dude, everyone has to add into this.
in front of Colonel Cain Maxwell, Dahlia quickly drops down to a knee in front of him, and with her axe slams it against the ground and speaks flame on, and lets that flame just erupt in front of him as he's doing the phoenix pose.
Sure.
Gladdek, how do you add to this?
Oh, for fuck's sakes! And then
He goes, call! I'm done.
Alright, Yezreel, give me the cherry on top.
Yezreel kind of goes to the other side of Colonel Cain, pulling out his daggers. To kind of look like feathers coming out, and does minor illusion on the daggers to make them look like they are on fire.
Cool.
Wow, you guys look like you've done that hundreds of times before.
We are the Phoenix Force!
Dahlia follows and she's like shouts, "Phoenix Force!" Hua!
And
Oh.
Tarson's name.
I'm inspired. I actually had a brew that I hadn't named quite yet.
God damn it.
Please take it as my token of appreciation for witnessing such a... I'm sorry. This genuinely happens, but
Aslan will take it graciously.
it seems to be an unopened cage, and he doesn't tell you what's in it, and just kind of waves you along.
Oh yeah, he'll just take it.
Unnamed. Oh, for all we know, this was a bad batch. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, you big summer blowout.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Okay,
Oh.
so with this current group, this is now uncharted territory.
Wow, it sure is.
What lies before you? There's a stretch of 8 different directions you can go. At the end of this tavern, there are 8 separate cave entrances that you can enter. The structure of the room seems to be about the same. The caves seem to be pretty small, almost as if they're like fissures in the wall that you can walk through.
Oh fuck! Like you're talking like the Narrows.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! So it's like how wide apart are the cracks?
It's just wide enough for Aslan's frame to fit perfectly.
Christ! So like
Aslan can walk in there sideways.
so normal people couldn't even walk shoulder to shoulder.
Yep.
Oh fuck, dude! So even though my form is not as like imposing as Aslan's because he's just like a huge creature, I do play up the fact that I'm ripped and have big muscles, and I like struggle to like fit in, you know, like going
the
along.
arm lock thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So, just you guys pick a number 1 through 8,
Oh my shit! You're gonna make us do that?
And
or however you want to decide. I just don't know how a better way for you guys to discern which way to go.
Tar.
I choose one.
If you want,
I choose
I'll-
2.
Hold on.
if
I
you
was gonna
want,
say something.
if you want, I'll allow you to make an investigation roll to see if there's any signs of what way you can go. Otherwise, just pick a random direction.
I rolled a 12 on investigation.
Okay.
Um,
Anyone else?
Hold on, Tara was gonna say something.
Sorry. Go ahead, please.
Tar pulls out her dice bag and signs the winner number as the number we go down.
Hey, there you
In
go.
this bag.
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
Glad I got a 12 on the investigation.
I'm not going to bother picking the direction. I'm just going to feel confident with the direction we choose.
Okay.
So should I roll a 1d8?
Yeah. You can roll a 1d8, but I'll after the results of that roll, I'll describe what they find with their 12s.
Okay. She rolled an 8.
Okay.
Nice.
Tara, you begin leading the group to the last direction on the right. With your investigation checks, it seems like there hasn't been any foot travel in quite some time, and the only bits that you do find is little bits of discarded mushrooms that have been tossed against the cave wall, presumably by Silent Shadow. But any other footprints would presumably be his, with claws of the like. Aside from that, you don't see anything of note.
Dahlia's gonna walk with her axe on fire to shed light.
Okay. So, Tar, you lead the group to go down cave entrance number 8.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell Toki since Toki has such great dark vision to go ahead of us and to signal with her certain clicks if she sees anyone there.
Okay. Can you tell me Toki's perception?
Let me see.
Also, who is Toki?
The little dinosaur.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's kind of ferret-like as far as the dinosaur's shape is concerned, but you can describe what it's kind of like.
Actually, I had a picture for it. Let me see her. While I'm checking this, I'll post a picture.
Gladdek will take rear guard.
Actually, let me see here.
I'll follow up the rear with Gladdek. But because we can't stand shoulder to shoulder, I'll go in front of him.
Let me see.
Yeah, Aslan's just gonna look at it, and he like kind of tiptoes sideways. He's kind of holding his gun in. He's like,
Yeah, dude, you're gonna have like the most awful rash.
yeah, that's as soon as we get out of it, just cuts and scrapes across his gut.
Wow.
Okay, let me see.
Gotcha. Oh, so this Toki's not even having a hard time at all.
No, and Toki is still quite small. It seems to be like maybe hatched about maybe a year or two ago.
So medium dog size?
Yeah, around there. It seems like it's going to get much bigger. It's just still pretty young.
Gotcha.
Okay, let me see here. Grab my internet. It's in the corner for some reason. Okay,
Just
got it.
now realizing that Colonel Cain Maxwell is like Johnny Bravo. Just
For sure. Definitely Johnny Bravo energy.
So we never made a character thing for her.
Okay,
For him,
so
we're just using a wolf.
So for right, yeah. Just go off the wolf stat block.
Okay, passive is 13, but it has a +3 to perception.
Great, I'll keep that in mind. So you all progress forward. The cave does. I mean, this fissure does eventually open up wide. And the only thing that you find at the end of this cavern is there seems to be a wall that has been broken down that you can see kind of light passing through it in some of the rocks. I want everybody to just give me a either a perception or an investigation check.
Okay. Toki is a 13, and then Tar is
Where do you see if you have dark vision or not?
11.
It should be at the bottom left of your character sheet near your proficiencies in language.
Is it light enough to see, or is it dark?
Well, Dahlia has her flame-tongued weapon activated at the moment, so there's torchlight.
So there's no disadvantage for me?
No.
Okay.
Gladdek
No,
got a 15 on perception.
Not that it matters, I have a -1 to it.
And I'd say that Toki stays about 40 feet ahead.
Okay.
16 for medium.
Okay.
14.
17.
Oh. What did Gladdek roll?
15.
Okay. Okay. Everybody, there's not really much to see in this room. The thing that catches most of your eyes is the light that's peering from this seemingly broken down hole. It seems, at least, some of the markings in the stone are somewhat similar to what you found in the destroyed like paper mache like tree coming down here in the first place, seemingly destroyed by the same person or same thing. It's hard to tell. However, Gladdek, one thing catches your eye specifically on the opposite side of the room, hidden in the rubble. There seems to be a something glowing in the, like beneath the dirt, just barely.
Gladdek would walk up to it to try and uncover it.
Okay. Give me one moment. Sorry, I need to pull this up.
Is this after we've gotten out of this fissure thing?
Yeah. The fissure opens up to like this small, like cave, like what seemed to like used to be a cave entrance that has since been collapsed.
Okay, gotcha.
But that's all you really see within this room. One moment here. Sorry.
Going dark.
Okay. Gladdek, you kind of rifle through the dirt and pick up this golden symbol of at least of what it looks like. It takes you a little bit of time to recognize what this is. Give me a religion check. Okay. What you find is a symbol forged in brass, depicting an anvil with a flame amongst it. I will post a picture in the chat right now.
Ooh.
Ooh?
One moment. It's coming, I promise. Where is that?
That's what she said.
Yeah. Okay. Gladdek, you see this symbol hidden amongst the dirt. This seems to be a holy relic, or at least a something depicting of Moradin's forge.
It's a fucking sign if I've ever seen one.
Yep.
You can take this how you will, but it seems that this may be confirmation of what you were thinking all of last night. What do you do?
Gladdek will pick it up and keep it.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Now, this cave wall is possible to be like removed enough for you all to crawl through. It's just going to take some effort of some brawn and some shoulder grease. Elbow grease. Or we can try a different path. What would you guys like to do? That's all we can really do inside of this small cave entrance.
Aslan would like to try to fit through, but he's kind of rubbing his belly. He's like, "Oh Lord, I can't take many more scrapes. It's starting to hurt."
But I can take some strength checks to see if we can move out some of this rubble if you want to continue forward, or we can try another fissure entrance.
How, like, is it, okay.
I'll do a strength check.
How realistic is it of an attempt?
Well, it's realistic. It just may take some time.
I just pushed Gladdek back a little bit as I step forward with Dahlia, and I just go into a rage and sink into the ground like a quarter of an inch. And I just fucking go for a bold. So real quick, I technically already have advantage, but I have that whole Goliath thing where like picking up, carrying, dragging things is like
doubled.
You know what I mean? Like it gives me advantage already.
You have advantage on the strength check, but your carrying capacity is doubled. I'll see that as two different entities acting together. So
I don't know, like you know how Goliaths are considered like huge when it comes to like doing things. I get that because of bear stuff.
Gotcha.
So, like, I'm not saying I need special treatment. I'm just
No.
letting you know.
I'm saying I'm going to allow you to carry more, and it will be an advantage.
Okay.
And then Dahlia, you said you wanted to assist in this. How are you doing that?
Yeah, she's
Nat
going
20.
to. She's going to enter rage as well and make her claws bigger.
Okay, so Cain, as you start powering up, your muscles are expanding, knowing that your hands were built for this. You're great descendants from the giants. Wait, didn't you say you were Goliath, right?
I'm actually human.
Oh.
I just used the Goliath as an example.
Oh, sorry. You compare yourself to the likes of hill giants that toss rocks for fun, or boulders for fun. You embody that image as you see that your compatriot Dahlia has also gone into a rage to create a weak spot for you. Dahlia, what is your role?
Fuck yeah.
It'll be at a right. It would be at advantage.
Yes, yeah, because of my rage.
Yeah.
So 14.
So you go in for a very muscular, like haymaker as your claws sinking into some of the rocks, creating a very vital weak spot. As you retract them and duck barely out of the way, as Cain reaches over you and just muscles over, and with the strength of his hands, collapse one of the biggest boulders, and it snaps in his hands. He goes on to just continue piling down like a fucking bulldozer. And over the course of about 5 minutes, we have a hole big enough for even Aslan to crawl through.
Oh, thank God. Though, if there was anybody here, they'd know we are now. But I do appreciate it.
Hey, someone had to move the fucking rocks, and it wasn't gonna be your ass.
And I know that's the truth. As he walks through, having a -1 in dexterity, I'd like to imagine he just trips and smashes his face into the ground.
You're so tired. Not only from your restful sleep, but all the goddamn stairs, the fucking swimming, and scraping against your belly on this fucking fissure, and now you're having to poo bear through a hole. Man, you're not having it, and you just trip into this hole.
Like, even though he's 8 foot something, he's just like Pooh from Winnie and the Pooh. He's just a big, like, lovable giant. So you got that version of a big tubby up to like the 180 of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he just fucking bites the dust.
As we go through this hole, I'll say that everybody gets their way inside of this. Give me 1 second to fill up my water bottle, and we will continue with the story. Let's just say 5-minute break, everybody.
I need a pee
so
bad!
A 5-minute break.
I need to take out my dogs and whatnot, so.
I don't know, man. I feel like if Aslan just takes any more damage, he's just gonna have a hissy fit and leave. He's just, this adventuring thing is just not what I thought it was.
We haven't quite gotten to the point, but like, I want to RP out that like Aslan is starting to lose some weight.
Oh no, he's definitely a snacker.
Okay.
I would say he keeps it on. He's definitely a pack animal.
Okay, we'll keep that as canon then. I was just gonna say, with all the exercise you've been getting, is
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely getting maybe a little bit of muscle on there, but he kind of is counterintuitive by every step he takes. He's just got to get another like chip. He's like he's basically like, this is just too much work.
all right. Important decision, y'all. Lemonade, raspberry tea.
Raspberry tea.
Raspberry tea.
It's being mixed with vodka.
Oh,
Raspberry tea for sure.
Okay. Seriously, I fucking hate summertime in this goddamn office. Oh, I just sit and sweat my ass off, man. Like,
that sucks.
And because I live right next to the fucking airport and right next to Riverdale Road, I just now opened my window and thank God it's quiet outside for a fucking second. Because yeah,
Quiet next to Riverdale Roads? That's possible?
yeah, a fucking 9:52 on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Give it about an hour and 45 minutes, and all the fucking planes will start going off.
Yeah.
This is some solid battle music.
Yeah, it is.
It better be. It's the Nazgul theme.
I was gonna say, I was like Lord of the Rings, right?
They mixed Nazgul and Sauron theme and made it epic.
Oh God!
I think I was telling Tuck about this, but whenever one of the campaign finishes up, I'm hoping to try to get my campaign started somewhere in there. Maybe squeeze myself into the schedule eventually. Yeah, I like this song. I want to see what this one is. Okay, I was wondering if it would play anything. It was really quiet. Why do I feel like Zafriel is in office now?
Yeah. Oh, I like this though.
Yeah, I'm gonna save this one.
Okay.
Yeah, save that, dude. That's good. Ooh, yeah, I like that a lot. The imagery also helps sell it a lot too.
For sure.
Has everyone returned?
Clarissa's taking a shit, I think.
Perfect.
Perfect time to resume.
Wow.
Y'all made the right call, by the way.
Did we?
Raspberry tea was definitely the right choice.
Oh, I was like, I did?
We picked the
Good.
right page.
Falling on my face again now.
Aslan falling on his face is always the right call, I'd say.
Yeah, he is a big lumbering oof, because he has a -1 in dexterity, but I thought it kind of made sense. He's a big elephant.
Yeah.
I thought I'd portray that with this moment.
Yeah, like it's like literally the elephant in the room.
He is like, he literally is, and he definitely plays the, I forget what the word is, but ditzy, like anime character or airhead, whatever the word may be.
Yeah.
He's the one that's always tripping and like getting hurt.
Man, okay, so I'm not going to say this is my favorite part because I have some other things. But it's really fun going through my cave system for the Underdark I designed for the last campaign because I was so proud of it, and now we're going through it a second time. It's just so awesome to me.
Well, it's like a revisit for you, but like it also allows you to like go through it again, knowing what you expected last time, and allows you to make nuanced changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
Well, and like, because it had been so long before you guys actually went through it. Like it was still fresh for you guys. So like,
right. Yeah, I think this has been a fucking. So like, when we do our favorite parts at the end of the game, I'm going to have to just like blast through a couple. I have a whole page of like moments I've written down that were my favorite. There's like it's impossible to say like which one is like better than the other. So like I'm just gonna fucking bam it out.
yeah, with such a heavy session on the last one, and like resolving that, and then continuing on as the Phoenix Force. Yeah,
a lot of RP has got to go into making that work.
Now watch. Instead of someone betraying the group, we all just get TKP.
I feel like if anybody's gonna go, it's gonna be Aslan.
I don't know, man. You've got a whole bunch of meatheads protecting their only support.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Honestly, the one that's most likely to die is Jezreel.
Yeah.
Like statistically speaking.
In his sleep. I mean, what?
No, I like not meaning like the situation you're in, but like you have the least amount of hit points, and you're usually wanting to stay away from the party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so, saying earlier, like the way that you said, would you like to make a vow? Does that actually do anything with that?
You'll find out, dude.
Yeah, you'll have to find out.
Who knows?
I don't know.
It's just opening some doors, is all.
We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I have a feeling we might.
You'll find out that vow is a very powerful word in D&D. It defines your character, at least in my opinion.
Making a deal.
Yeah, the way that you said, "Are you making a vow?" I'm like, you know what? That sounds like the good idea.
Yes.
It just makes me think of a warlock pact. Just like, come on, won't you shake a poor sinner's hand?
That's how I felt when he said that, and I'm like,
Yeah, I bet, dude. That's how I felt, and I wasn't even doing it.
I'm like, sure, let's do a vow, whether this be good or bad.
Was that entity revealed?
I'm sorry?
Was that entity revealed who was like talking to him about it?
No. Nope.
Interesting.
Nope.
Imagine you made a fucking pact with Surtur.
Dude! I can't, dude. You know what? I fucking hate Surtur on a meta level, but I'm also excited by at the potential prospect of meeting up with him again.
Yeah, I like seeing all our characters and people come back. It's kind of nice. It's like it almost feels like when you play a game a second time or watch a movie again. You're like, I know this motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like that Warlords of Draenor expansion.
Yeah, it's like you get back into the past, but you're not really. You can't say you know it, but you do.
Right? Yeah. Wow, what a world!
I know that most of you probably haven't even seen it, but the final boss in that expansion, really cool stuff.
And what? Warlords of Draenor?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know.
I don't think Evan's a WoW guy.
I am very much a WoW guy.
Oh,
I just did not play Draenor. Yeah,
Me neither.
I wanted to really get into WoW, but there's just so much to do and so many mounts and stuff. I was like, yeah.
Hey,
behind
sorry,
the curve.
I don't mean to cut you off, but we're going to be ending the session soon, so I want to hurry and get to it.
Wait, when do you want to try and end the session?
You'll find out.
Well, I mean,
Fuck, dude! I'm still feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Right?
You all climbed through this hole that was so gingerly created by both the Colonel Cain Maxwell as well as Dahlia. Eventually, you all crawl out of there, having to pull Aslan out about halfway, and him just silently complaining to himself the whole time that he's getting even more belly scratches in a most uncomfortable way. and you guys come out to the other end. A small, dimmed arcane bulb lights this room, and there seems to be a place like on the opposite end of this wall of the cave wall that looks like that there was a door here, but is now just a blank wall. Seems like the imprint of a door was once here. The only other things that you see in this room is the little arcane bulb that's floating. And you see a little podium of sorts sitting right in the middle of this small chamber. There doesn't seem to really be anything on it. There's a bit of dust left, that has been removed from what was once on this pedestal. What do you all do in this room?
I'm gonna investigate the pedestal.
Okay. Let's go ahead and give an investigation roll. Anyone who would like to assist, please say so.
Tar will look at it.
Okay.
Sure, yeah.
How are you assisting Yezriel with this, Tar?
She's just behind his shoulder, and anything that he says that she might understand, she'll kind of reinforce.
Okay. Yezriel, go ahead and give me investigation at advantage, please.
Perfect. 19.
And what was your first roll? Just so I can give some context.
Oh, I just rolled it with the advantage.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. It doesn't tell you what the first roll would have been?
Oh, yeah. 6 was the first roll.
At first, you don't really see anything. You do notice like the dust that was once there. It looks like there was a book upon this podium that has been removed. But it isn't until Tar comes and points something out to you. There's nowhere in the dust trails that are there that would show that a finger rubbed against the pedestal to pick up the book. That comes across as odd. So it makes you think, was this book floating? So you begin looking up towards the ceiling of this chamber. Above you,
Shadow!
you feel a dribble of drool come down your neck.
Oh, not again.
Now you look up and you see that there are 3 floating books above you that are up on the ceiling. There's a green book, a red book, and a purple book. They all seem to be open, and even if you were to take a close glance, seem to have no text in them whatsoever.
Tara's gonna grab her grappling hook arrow,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
and she's gonna fire at the green one.
You pull it down, hold it in your hand, and try to take a look at it. Flip through the pages.
She wants to shoot it, dude.
Oh, the grappling hook. So I assume she's just trying to pull it down?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, you do so, and it doesn't seem to damage the book at all. You flip through the pages with all of them being blank except for the last page, which seems to be written in, if anybody speaks or can read Abyssal.
Oh, fuck. No.
I can cast languages and do that.
Sure?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude! There you go! Fuck yeah!
So Aslan will do that.
Yeah, Aslan will.
You are able to read roughly. In Abyssal, this throws you off. It's like, it's more just guttural sounds and like screeches is what the language kind of sounds like on an outward glance, but it roughly translates to, in this room, you shall find one thine rock to be found. Find the round rock, and you will see the floor will be covered in a sea of green. Don't ask me to repeat it because that came off the top of my head.
That's
Yeah.
totally fine with me, dude.
Aslan just says out loud, "Am I still high?" Oh, well, rough translation, the book says something about rocks. The floor will turn green, more rocks than rocks.
Maybe we should get the other books down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the other books will tell us something. Yeah.
I just nudged Tar to do the thing again.
She just scratches the outside of her helmet with a little sweat mark coming down as she just fires at the purple one this time.
You pull down the purple book. Similarly, you flip through the pages. Most of them are blank till the final page. In abyssal,
God damn it.
it shows one book is a lie and one tells the truth.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
One of us speaks in riddles and one of us speaks in rhymes.
Find the right rock, you will find sanctuary, and find the wrong rock, and you will be shook.
Tar looks at that book, looks at the other book, looks at the group, looks at the other book, and just scratches her helmet.
Okay.
Perhaps a third.
Let's get the book that's still up there.
She kind of does a sign gesture as she fires again.
You grab the last remaining book. Similarly, you flip through the pages to find the last one filled in abyssal. Beyond this door, you will find sanctuary. Be wary. Pick the wrong rock, and it will be scary.
Hi! Where's the damn thing?
I'm gonna die.
So,
Okay, so we got two books telling us to find the right rock, and one book is telling us fuck. What did the second book say?
That one of them is real and one of them is false.
Oh, that one of them's lying. One of them's fake.
But they're both telling us to find the right rock.
So the first book told us to find the right rock and the ground would turn green?
yeah, the one rock said the ground would turn green if you found the wrong rock, and the other said if you found the wrong rock, you would be shook.
Maybe if we find the wrong rock, the grass will actually turn red.
So Aslan will look around the room for like specific looking rocks.
It's not hard to find. There are 3 boulders that are kind of lined up symmetrically along the left side wall.
Okay, so we just
They all seem to look about the same. Taking a closer glance, even with the 19 investigation check that we'll save, the one on the middle seems to be a bit more pointed. The one on the left seems to be a bit more dulled, and the one on the right seems to have been broken.
I found it.
I was elected to lead, not to read. Number 3.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let's go. Eeny, meeny, miny. The flat one.
Okay.
Tar picks a flat one.
Yes.
Okay.
And she just holds it up to Aslan with a sweat mark on her side.
Aslan's like profusely sweating. Why the fuck did you pick it up? At least that's what his face reads.
Okay, you pick it up. All of a sudden, you feel the ground is starting to feel muddy. You take a look around the room and look at the ground and see there seems to be acid rising from the floor.
Well,
The spell magic.
The spell magic will not work here.
Damn it.
At least we know which book is telling the truth now.
Pick up the other rocks.
Put that rock back!
Aslan tries to pick up the other rocks.
She puts the rock back.
Everybody takes 5 points of acid damage.
Oh, that hurts.
You guys pick up which one, the middle or the right?
Aslan will pick up the broken rock.
And she'll
You picked it up. Oh, okay. So, Aslan, you pick up the broken rock and form it back together. And as you do, the door starts to form into its shape as acid starts rising from the floor. This white, purulescent door forms out of nowhere right into the spot where it's been etched as this rock has been connected with itself. The door begins to open, and all you see is a bright white light as acid is rising from the floor. What do?
Aslan runs through the door with a rock in hand. And he's like waddling back and forth trying to hold the rock together. Yeah, he's holding it like it's heavy in his hand, so he's holding it like waist level. He's like,
Or Tar runs out of the room.
Israel runs through the door, just jumping through it.
All right. I'm just going to assume you all just kind of bail through the door as quickly as possible.
As fast as actually, I'm going to use my bestial soul and jump through it.
Okay.
I'll do a sort of aggressive dodge roll forward into a sprint.
No.
You know.
All right, sorry. I know that was a bit scuffed. I wanted to have a little fun with that. Okay. You pop through the door. You come upon this landing. As you all kind of tumble on top of each other into a dog pile, you orient yourselves and see this ancient city before you. It seems like this city etched into stone in this giant cave entrance. You see that as you're looking at from like an upward angle at this like pseudo cave entrance that you're standing in, there is seems to be the city is cut into 3 different districts. The further away from this giant castle in the background is like, it seems the more poor it gets. On the outside edge of this city, the buildings are torn to shambles, broken down, and you see some figures moving around in the distance in this area as the buildings get progressively more and more pristine, getting closer and closer to this castle. Purulescent, as I said before, it's pristine, this white structure standing in the background with a tower that reaches up hundreds of feet. But taking a look behind you, the door is gone. Taking a look around, the camera pans out to take a bigger look at the city. See one flying figure staring above.
No way!
It seems to be flying around. No legs. It seems like it's just cloth, almost like a Dementor.
Yeah.
It's for those. I'll actually have you all make a history check.
Gosh.
History don't fail me now.
Oh shit! It's an 8.
Oh, history failed me.
I got a 24.
20.
11.
10 for Gladdek.
Oh man.
Who rolled above 15?
I did.
Tar.
I did.
And what was your roll, Aslan?
20.
Oh, great. Aslan and Tar, you know what this creature is. But as the rest of the party kind of looks to see what the hell this is, the lack of leads is the discerning part. And the way that it just flows through the wind is almost like a will-o-wisp. Almost like a fire flying through the wind, but darkened cloth. However, Aslan and Tar, you know this to be a mind flayer.
Knew it.
Oh fuck.
No!
It circles the city, doesn't seem to catch your gaze, and it kind of dips down into a further back cave entrance.
Hard.
The camera turns back in on the party and takes a circle around, taking a look at your entrance that you find yourselves in. No vegetation where you stand, just solid rock and dirt. But leaning it up against the side wall, kind of crouched into a ball, hunched in a muscular figure, looks up at you somberly.
Oh no.
Surtur sits before you.
No, dude! Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh god.
Aslan just looks at
What does
Tar.
he look like?
I want to go home.
As Surtur looks up to the group, muscly, he is considered to be a what did we call him? It was a he was a
Parasite?
hold on, let me see if I can't pull him up. One second.
Parasite? That's so fucked up.
What's name a word similar to the thing you're trying to think of?
Symbiote?
No, it's the type of creature that he is. Give me 1 second, I'll pull him up.
Mollusk.
Demon?
Cuttlefish.
1 second.
Cuttlefish? God damn it.
Octopus, a squid.
Where is Nezram's character sheet?
I don't know.
Face
It doesn't matter. He is. It seems like he has no skin. It's just muscle tissue.
Oh, fuck, dude.
He's wearing such worn and tattered clothing. It's been torn, disheveled, and you see several large gashes in his form. And you see a face with no nose and no mouth, just drooping down tentacles with piercing yellow eyes as he looks towards you.
Are you okay? You look injured.
Tar immediately has her
Surtur?
bow and arrow in hand.
Would you like a snack?
I am stuck here. I thought when that bitch had died, I would be free. But I am here. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
No!
Damn.
Oh, fuck me, dude.
Okay,
Shit, dog.
So that little like cave puzzle, if you want to even call it that was not prepared. Clearly.
Hey, you know what?
But-
I can always appreciate an on-the-cuff sort of like puzzle, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It
But-
was fun.
Everything else was, so I didn't want to like throw on like this was all off the cuff, but no. It's, I'm really excited that you guys were able to see Surtur again, because that was the cliffhanger I was hoping for.
Hell yeah.
Fucking Surtur.
That's a big pinnacle shift. Like,
God damn it. Dude, I fucking hate
Tentacle
Surtur.
shift.
I honestly do. As a player, I hate Surtur.
I think he's alright. I'm like, damn.
He's cool, but I fucking hate him, dude.
I think he's okay. He's got his
No!
faults. I think he's redeemable. I can fix him.
Dude, he literally is like manifested like whatever the fuck he is, like bad stuff. There's no redeeming qualities of Surtur.
Okay.
I can fix him.
I haven't even seen anything bad about Surtur, so this is all new to me. Like
So-
on a meta level.
Before we end here, the reason why I wanted to end early, you can all level up.
Yes, dude, I'm about it.
Oh yeah.
And Gladdek, you can take the level that we had discussed.
Perfect.
Whoa?
Going to Paladin.
Ooh, you're going a little bit
Paladin?
of the holy guy there?
I mean, from what I could tell, with like making some.
Kind of sounded like
Yeah.
Paladin to me.
Yeah, say, or it could be cleric potentially.
It could be cleric. Yeah.
Or, yeah, like Forge Cleric.
Colton, what did you get for your level up?
I was just going to say, I'm down for that, but I also want to compare HP stats. So, just like Clarissa, I got Brutal Critical. So, I took another level in Barbarian because my next level in Fighter is just going to give me extra attack, which I don't need. So, you know. But yeah, I got I'm a little under the influence. Brutal critical. And I have 173 health.
That's respectable. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Don, before we go over what you're getting, are you wanting your level up to be secret?
Because you can reveal it later if you want, in a way, if you want.
I was gonna say, I think I'm okay with revealing it here, like meta-wise.
Yes! Please, do it!
Alright, tell me what you get as your new multi-class.
So, it was actually the, sixth guess. It's, the cleric, for...
Nice!
So
nice, dude!
I
Yes!
First level in cleric tonight.
What domain did you choose?
Forge.
Nice.
Nice, dude!
I thought
Forge
so.
domain's cool.
It's with your whole smithing thing and how you like to do the schematic and all that. I was like, if he does if he doesn't do a paladin, it's going to be a forge cleric because that's all thematic.
I'm really
For
excited
sure.
to see what Gladdek does when
Dude, yes, dude!
with Moradin's influence. Man, love it.
Wow, what a fucking multi-class. Fucking Blood Hunter and, Cleric, that's a perfect. I love it. It's very poetic.
What about you, Clarissa? What did you grab?
So the only thing that I got for my level up was the brutal critical.
Where are you sitting at HP wise?
Max is 122.
Nice.
Nice.
And what about you, Evan?
What was Gladdek? What was your
I'm
HP?
sitting at max 143.
Nice.
I'm sitting at 120.
Ooh.
I picked. So I had the option of resurrection. What is it? Regenerate and teleportation. I might change it. I picked regenerate right now, but I might change it before the next session because if we're getting a cleric, I might go less healy and go more like utility. Because since I was the only spellcaster, I went more the healy route because we needed it.
Well, I mean, although he's going into cleric. I mean, he's going into a non-caster into full caster, so he won't have many spell slots.
True.
So I mean, take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I just because man, they're raiding in me. I want the teleportation. I just want to be able to zip us around the world. Just be like, hey, you want your force shit? Hey, here's your force shit. Hey, we're back.
It would be pretty invaluable getting out of the Underdark. So.
Oh shit! Yeah. Dude.
Yeah, I might switch that out. But the other thing I grabbed was Bigsby's hand because I always.
Dude, yes.
Like as a spellcaster, it feels like if you really love being a melee person, but you always wanted to try out a spellcaster, Bigsby hand is like the spell for you. Just you summon a big ass hand and just smack the shit out of something.
Dude, I almost called you Raiden. You should just call it Ramsey's hand, and it's just a bigger form of Ramsey.
I don't know. I'll have to think of a name. Maybe I might change the little hand's name, and then the big hand be Ramsey, because he's just gonna bring down the Hell's Kitchen on you and just.
Sure. Yeah.
That's funny.
8d8 damage, by the way.
Wow.
Jesus. Yezreel, wrap us up. Tell us about your level up.
So, my max health is now 108.
Hey, triple digits.
Wait, was that what it was before? Hold on. I feel like something. Cause I'm pretty sure my max level, my HP didn't change.
Yeah, it doesn't change for you if you have it set to manual.
Oh, it did. I went from 100s to.
Oh, that's actually a pretty solid roll for a rogue.
Yeah.
What did you get for leveling up?
I got counter spell.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Hell yeah! 2 counter spells and the party's gonna be lit.
Dude, well, okay, we're a party full of fucking melee hitters that now have 2 counter spells. in
Yeah,
our
2
pocket.
counter spells
Dude, people are not gonna like
and
this.
teleportation.
Yeah, let me tell you what. Like, all right. Well, I was really proud of how tonight went. Sorry for the stuffed puzzle, but like,
No, dude, it was
It was
great.
funny.
It
I
was
liked
great.
it. Like,
that was the whole point, for it to just be stupid.
yeah,
It
because you
was
know, there's
fine.
always the meme is like, I threw a 3rd grade level riddle at my party and they couldn't figure it out. It's like you basically threw a riddle at us and we just said, "I'm picking up the
Yeah.
stone. Go ahead and throw the stone."
Yeah, you'll have a 1 in 3 chance of picking the right rock, and it doesn't matter which one they picked.
And like I loved it because it was like the traditional like labyrinth, like I said, like one of us speaks in riddles and one of us speaks in rhymes.
Right,
And
right.
let me-
one of us is telling the
speak-
truth and one of us is lying.
Let me speak to that a little bit. I felt like the first book was freaking fire, and like I had to say, like, don't tell me to repeat that, because that.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Wow.
Man,
Well, what a game, Tucker. You did very well, especially off not knowing you're going to run today. You did a fucking bomb-ass game tonight.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Well, you guys have a good night, and for those that it applies to, happy Father's Day.